Tom Brookshire, along with the ex-Lion, the linebacker, the great one, Wayne Walker. Wayne, I have a feeling that with Jaworski's line being attacked for the first time, Sizemore will start at tackle, Kinney at left guard, that perhaps he can pick this defense apart. Do you think the Jaws can have the big game?
Well, I think he thinks he can. When we talked to him yesterday, you saw his eyes light up.
Yeah.
He said, you know, we've got my offensive line back now really for the first time all year. This team I'm playing on, regardless of our record 1-4, has more talent and personnel than any he's ever played on, he said. And then he looked on the other side of the coin over there on the Buffalo side and saw where they've only had 3 sacks all season long. So he thinks he's going to get the time, and if he does, he can be extremely tough.
And, of course, Joe Dufek, the young Yaley, who's starting like his second game, will be at quarterback. And Marion Campbell, while he's a head coach, is also a defensive master. I have a feeling he'll throw some real sophisticated under defenses and give the young man a tough time.
Well, that is the flip side of it. Case Stevenson is going to start Joe Dufek at quarterback for the second straight week. He played last week against the Colts in place of Joe Ferguson, who is injured. Had a pretty good game in the first half when they had their running game going. He was in pretty good control, but when he had to throw the ball in the second half, he ran into some problems, as all young quarterbacks will. Had 3 interceptions.
And we have threatening skies. We could get rain, so the first team on the board might be the team that ends up winning.
Well, these teams are going to be a little bit angry, too, Tom. You know, gosh, 0-5 and 1-4, and they kind of feel like they're deserted. Their fans have left them, friends have left them, and they're all out there on their own. So I think we'll see some nasty hitting in this one.
Don't forget, Sweetness, Walter Payton, in his quest to become the all-time NFL rushing champion, beating Jim Brown's record. If he gets those 67 yards today, we will cut live to that celebration when the great one will get the game ball and very humbly say, let's play more football. Right now, the Eagles have won the toss. Hayes will take the kickoff, and Joe DeMello, the former New York Giant, has been up here for 2 seasons. This is his second season, will kick it off. And Wayne Walker said it. There is a lot of frustration on the field today. 5 yards deep in the end zone, Joe Hayes. Good coverage by Buffalo. Hayes is tripped up at the 18-yard line. Bayless making the stop there. 0-5 and 1-4. Ron Jaworski. I mean, he might have a very hot day, and he comes from right down the road at Lackawanna. Wilbert Montgomery, the best 6th-round draft choice ever. Hubie Oliver, Kenny Jackson, and Mike Quick. These are 2 very good young receivers. Spagnola, Moraldi, Kenny starting at left guard. Opening of the season, he's been brought down. Bennett, Sizemore back at right tackle. And that's a pretty good offensive line, and Ron knows it. Set that defense in just a moment. High formation, Oliver Yetman. Play action pass to Montgomery. Wilbur gets a first down and is tackled at the 32-yard line as Marv, the linebacker, gets him there, a 13-yarder. Here's the defense, and they're having their problems here in Buffalo. Ben Williams, Smirlis, once considered one of the best nose tackles in the game, having his problems too, and Kenny Johnson. They only have 2 sacks. Lucius Sanford, Hazlitt, a very good hitter in the middle. Marv and Darryl Talley, the big rookie from West Virginia. Lucius Smith, Charlie Rome, Steve Reed, and Don Wilson, they were vulnerable in the secondary. High formation, 1st and 10. That's quick in motion, back inside. Montgomery. Carrying people really to the 40-yard line.
Good effort by Montgomery. He said before this game, our problem has been we haven't had anybody making big plays for us. We haven't had anybody with that extra effort, and I think he has in mind to kind of do that by example.
And he's one of the great cutback runners that's ever played. He has obviously all of the eagle rushing marks. He went by my old buddy Steve Van Buren's records in carries and in yardage. Van Buren has great respect for number 31. 7-yard pickup, so it's 2nd down and 3. Eagles have a first down, looking for more. They've got a touchdown in 2 weeks. Drive off the left side. Montgomery hit back in the backfield. Ben Williams got rid of his blocker, and Wilbert doesn't even get to the line of scrimmage. Marion Campbell. Behind the big number 3 is the guy that used to wear number 78 for the Eagles. My old teammate. You can see Pisarcik, the quarterback, signaling in the offensive call. Marcia Broda, the offensive coordinator, is to Marion Campbell's right there. Swamp Fox takes the good with the bad, but this year has been very frustrating for him, too. Ron Jaworski, 5 interceptions, 4 touchdowns. This is the 3rd down and 3. This is the down that's given the Eagles the most problems. Jaworski dumps it out to Montgomery. Montgomery tackled hard at the 42-yard line by Freeman and thrown out of bounds.
great job on defense that time by the Buffalo Bills. Jaworski wanted to hit quick immediately coming off the line of scrimmage, but they had him jammed, didn't let him off, and he had to dump it off out here to Wilbert. And that's Steve Freeman right there, number 22. He'll be all over the field this afternoon.
Freeman looked like he was keen on Wilbert all the way. He came right through the formation to make that tackle, and it's going to be very, very close to a fourth down facing the Eagles, or the first down. They'll move the chains. The town didn't know whether to boo the Eagles or boo the Buffalo Bills when the introductions took place. First down was made by inches. The Eagles haven't scored a touchdown in the first quarter all year.
And then Marion told us that their main problem has been on third down. They wanted to avoid those third down situations, and I think we've seen part of their game plan already. Play action pass on first down and pick up 5 or 6 yards and stay out of that shotgun situation.
The 109th consecutive start for Ron Jaworski. And we said it before. Man, he is durable, he is tough. And he's been on this time, too. Jaworski being sacked. Number 55, Haslett.
Haslett will fight.
And now they're getting into a problem, and we told you this might happen. 0-5 and 1-4. The first guy that shoves you, you punch him.
Buffalo's 4th sack of the season is all. We talked about that at the top of our telecast. And we mentioned how tough Jaworski is, and he just was sacked by a pretty tough one, too. Number 55, Jimmy Haslett, who bends fenders around here.
Yeah, he fights in parking lots
right
on the off days. Handled by the officials. It's the 4th sack of the year.
A blitz right here. Haslett, 55, inside linebacker, comes up the middle, and now a little extracurricular activities here. He josts a little elbow at him. And Haslett wanted to do some high sticking.
Play nice. Kenny Jackson and Quick. The 2 fleet receivers are in there. On second down and 15, Jaworski dumping out to Hubie Oliver. Oliver tackled at the 35-yard line. Good defense by Buffalo. Charlie Rome's coming up. Well, they're up high in a kite, that Buffalo defense.
Getting right after it. Now, they did a great job last week in the first half shutting down the Colts, and then lost the game in the second half when they lost some of that intensity that we see now.
Charlie Rome's just signed a new contract, about $250,000 a year. You better make tackles like that. Third down. 17 to go. These are the conversions that are Chuck Stevenson. No head coach here in his second season. Under a lot of fire. Shotgun. Jaworski trying to go deep. Now goes medium distance man out of bounds with Woodruff, and he doesn't hang on to it. It is a catch. They're going to call it a catch.
Let's take a peek here. Woodruff running a deep out. Jaworski with plenty of time. Well, it didn't look like he had control of this when he went out from our vantage point. Let's take a look. Uh-oh.
If I was a secondary man, I would be belaboring somebody.
Yeah, you bet. Fourth down, though.
Michael Horan, the young left-footed punter, that was once waived by the Buffalo Bills a year ago. Then the punt. He can really hang it. Wilson's waiting for it at the Buffalo 10. Buffalo doing a lot of fooling around like they're going to try to block it, and they know Horan because he did punt here. Are they coming or not? This is not a very good kick. In fact, it's atrocious. A battle of nerves, and Horan lost this one. No score in the first.
Nothing works. Taste as great as their name.
No, guys, it doesn't get any better than this.
Carrier Pigeon just brought us news that Walter Payton has already picked up 25 yards, needs 42 now.
And he's playing against a pretty tough defense, so
yep.
New Orleans Saints will get after him.
Jim Brown may come out of the stands and try to tackle him. First and 10, the first Buffalo offensive shot. We'll set that lineup in just a moment on both sides. Dufek The Yale quarterback hands off to Greg Bell, who's coming off a 144-yard rushing afternoon against Indianapolis a week ago. Here's the offense. Joe Dufek, a great football family. He's out of Yale. He was a good baseball player, too. Booker Moore, Greg Bell, the young Notre Dame with the #1 draft. Dawkins, Franklin, and Barnett, the receivers. They are underrated. Jones, Victor Grant, Borchardt, and Joe Devlin, who used to play outside of Philadelphia at Great Valley High School. Jones and Victor, pretty good offensive line. Not large, but smart. Dufek completes his first throw to Preston Denard, the former Los Angeles Ram.
They'll be real careful with him in their play calling, Tom. They were at the start of last week. Let him get involved in the game a little bit before they start getting real sophisticated.
The 34 for the Eagles. Dennis Harrison, Bigfoot now, he's healthy. Kenny Clark, very good job at nose tackle. And Greg Brown, the leading sacker. He has 5 already. Wilkes, Jerry Robinson, Anthony Griggs, and Joel Williams, the linebackers. And Fowles is now the left cornerback. Rowanell just cannot get that pulled groin muscle well. And the secondary will be tested. Dufek, 15 of 35 a week ago, and 3 interceptions. Dufek kept the ball, went up the middle. A little bit of shoving going on again.
Dufek said that this week was going to be a lot more challenging for him than even last week, which was his first NFL start, because the Eagles are so sophisticated on defense. They give you so many different looks.
Quarterback sneak for the first down for Dufek and the Bills. St. Louis leading Dallas 7-0. A 20-yard TD pass, Lomax to Marsh, the tight end. Cardinals are going to have a lot to say about who wins the NFC East. 1st and 10 call. Dufek on play action pass. The deep corner route. Denard again working on Fowles. The young player that's played in place of Rowanell Young.
Any question about Joe Dufek's arm? He'll answer it for you right here with this pass. Preston Denard, the former Rams receiver, downfield about 13 yards, runs a sideline. It's a long throw right here, and he had a lot on it, and it was on the money.
You know, you said it a long throw. It is the longest, toughest throw that a quarterback has to really hump up and fire that, don't you?
Step right in and put it in there on the line. They can't loop that one in, or they're going to get it picked off.
The numbers on Preston Denard. He comes off, and Dawkins is in there. 1st and 10. At the Eagles 38-yard line. Dufek to drive to Bell. Not much. Tempers flare again. There's still some problems out there. Everybody's pointing fingers and shoving one another. I think I'd get near Bigfoot Harrison so a fight would break out.
Could hide under his jersey.
How about when we were talking to him in the hotel room, he had to bend over to get out of the door.
He did.
6'9". 2nd down and 6. We might tell you that while it looks like the fights last forever, they're quickly forgotten, and when the game is over, the game is over. 2nd down and 6, right on the 35. Dufek, play action. Oh, overthrowing Denard, and Fowles took a shot at Denard anyway.
Dufek, really, although he's in his 2nd year here, did not play at all last year. Went down on kickoffs. He's a big kid, about 6'4", 215 pounds, and really didn't play much at Yale. He was a baseball player there. Was a backup. He was a backup his sophomore and junior year, and didn't play regularly for the Elis until he was a senior.
There are 4 Ivy League quarterbacks in this league now. You know, even though they don't have spring practice, they're intelligent and they go to school, don't they? 3rd down and 6. A shotgun. Dufek's going to run with it. He's going to answer it. Look out. He's got a lot of room. Dufek falls at the 21-yard line. The crowd loves it.
He ran for a touchdown last week against the Colts in the Hoosier Dome. Shotgun here, and he doesn't spend a lot of time looking around. I think he went to his primary. It wasn't there, and he pulled it down. For a baseball player, Brookie, he didn't do a very good Pete Rose imitation here. He should have gone down, I think, hook slide. That was about a 3 or 4 point bounce landing.
He looks very relaxed to me, though, for a young man in sort of a tight situation. Leading an 0-5 ball club at home can be very difficult. He said he's learning every day. Booker Moore and Greg Bell in the backfield. They're in the eye. This is the toss. Back to Bell. Bell gets through the hole and somehow manages to stay on his feet to the 16. Ellison fouled, hitting there.
Used his blockers extremely well that time on that. He bided his time and kind of choked his motor for a while. And watch him get the lead block. Number 34, Booker Moore, right in front of him. Will kick out here on a cornerback. Fouls. Elbert fouls. That pops him through. It was on Wilkes, rather. The block was on Wilkes, and was Fowles who made the tackle.
Borchardt did a pretty good job, too. They cut off those linebackers trying to pursue. It's 2nd down and 5. A very impressive drive with a young man from Yale in his 2nd year at quarterback. 2nd down 5 from the 15. Bell running to the left. Hit hard at the 13-yard line, and he fumbles. Wes Hopkins really unloaded.
Or can he hit?
SMU meet Notre Dame.
I feel like they have Wes Hopkins, Ronnie Lott, guys like that in the same backfield. Watch this lick. Now, Hopkins hit Dennis Riggins a shot last week, and Riggins didn't come back in the ball game.
Oh.
Pretty good lick right there. You start looking around for number 48 after a couple of hits like that.
I wonder why the ball wasn't considered a fumble. It stayed in bounds. The ball player went out of bounds. The ball stayed in. Big play early in this ball game. No score in the first quarter, but it's 3rd and about a foot. Short yardage. Bell. Sweeping. 1st down and more. He's in there. Let's see. There are no flags. Greg Bell has scored a touchdown, and he's given credit to the blockers. A 12-yard shot. First rushing touchdown for the former Notre Dame player. What a crowd. Did they come to their feet?
Pretty good call, too. The Eagles in defense were jammed in there a little bit. Short yardage situation. I think they were expecting something up inside. They didn't get it.
Hofer holding. Doganello's extra point try. It's good. The crowd tells you that.
Did a great job of blocking here. Watch number 73, Borchardt. The guard pull out. Booker Moore, number 34, leading the way, too. This is a repeat of the play they ran a couple times ago. Moore comes around, looks inside. Breaks a tackle here. Fouls. Number 29 comes over, and Bell's in.
Against the short yardage defense, you should never sweep for a touchdown. Buffalo 7, Philadelphia nothing.
TWA Flight 7 to Los Angeles. Heavy weather ahead. And where are the pilots? Watching television.
Checking your savings account.
Got it?
Direct deposit. For 20 million people, it's money in the bank.
That is the 2nd Buffalo touchdown in the first quarter scored all year. Danello's kickoff. Joe Hayes at the 10. This is a short kick. Eagles are going to get a good field position out of this, out to the 27. Goes Hayes. Keating made the tackle there. Now Jaworski in the Eagle offense, which had a first down or two and then sort of sputtered.
Pretty fired up looking group of Buffalo Bills out there this afternoon, though. I think they have their silver anniversary team here, their all-time team of their first 25 years, and they've had the celebration all weekend for those guys, and I think it may have these people pumped up some.
The juice. A lot of people, huh? McGuire.
Golden Wheels to Binion.
Golden Wheels. Jaworski on play action comes across the middle. Kenny Jackson took a real shot, but made a catch. The number 1 choice out of Penn State. He is not afraid to give himself up coming across. Smith really drilled him.
Great catch here, too, coming over. A good throw by Jaworski. Jaworski told us that Kenny Jackson's really a hard worker in practice. Stays out with him afterwards, runs a pattern, and they're starting to really connect now.
19-yarder. Nice throw by Jaworski. He came up here in 81, and they beat the Buffalo Bills that were a playoff team in one of the best football games that Vermeil squad probably ever played. Those kind of things stick in your computer. Fumble. Jaworski went after it, but let's see. Smerlis gets so close to the offensive center. That's Smerlis is number 76. He almost gets in the center's uniform, doesn't he?
Look at Jaws throwing his body around. Don't get down to the bottom of that pile. Tough guy. You've got to like him. As Ricky told you, this is his 109th consecutive start, and he has been, watch this, it's just an early snap by the center. He's the only one that goes. He snapped it. No one was expecting it. He kicked it around, and look at Jaws down. You've got to like that.
He's tough. 109 consecutive starts.
And you know he's been banged up some.
I've seen him hit hard often. Second down and 10. The backs are out. Kenny Jackson inside the 40 to the 35 and almost went for a touchdown. Smith barely able to control number 81.
Kenny Jackson showed some great acceleration that time. Ran a little short pattern over the middle, and then after he got the ball, put the Jets on and almost broke it away from Lucius Smith. Watch it here. There he is over the middle. Hazlett's 55, Lucius Smith 47 coming, and just barely makes the grab here on him. He might get a whole lot more.
Down on the 35-yard line. Make that the 40-yard line. That's where they placed it, 1st and 10. Eagles in Buffalo territory. They're trading 7-0. That's quick in motion. Smerlis. He does this about twice a game.
Yeah.
He is overactive.
He crowds that center, nose tackle position.
Defense.
He and Haslett have a talk show here in Buffalo. And I haven't heard it personally, but it's got to be one of the funny hours probably in
Encroachment.
all of radio.
Coast Guard defense. 1st down, 5.
You know, Berkey, you can play games with a guy that crowds the ball like Smerlis centers. You know, they can tighten those knuckles up on the ball, loosen them up, and any kind of movement when a guy is crowding the ball like that might get him to go, and he goes a lot. Look at him. Look how close he is right there.
And Dennard, of course, the veteran obtained from Miami, is a very, very clever football player. That's quick in motion. He gets doubled all the time. The toss back to Montgomery. Wilbert, the cutback, head-to-head, almost to the 20-yard line. Call it the 23. Linebackers Sanford and Marv in on that tackle.
Ground level coming right at you now. The Eagles using a lot of I formation here early this afternoon, and this is, as Tom said, one of the good cutback runners that's ever played the game.
Tough little guy for less than 200 pounds. 1st and 10, the Eagles driving. The Bills have already scored. 4 minutes left. 1st down and 10. Inside drive. Wilbert cutting back, finding his own hole inside the 20 to the 18. Talley making the stop there.
Flow was to the left that time. Play was designed to go left. But Wilbert took it on his own to the right-hand side, and Talley made a saver.
Big problem the Bills have had was when St. Louis came in here and massacred them. They scored 17 points in the 1st quarter, and they make you play their game. Don't forget, New Orleans trailing Chicago 3-0. Walter Payton has 34 yards. He needs 33 more. Those Saints are tough, though. They'll make him earn it, won't they?
Every yard.
We'll cut away to that when and if that happens, but you'll be there, too. Hubie Oliver straight ahead. If everybody's keen on number 31, the fullback sometimes gets a clean shot.
This is exactly what the Eagles wanted to do, stay out of 3rd down situations. They get Hubie Oliver here, straight ahead blocking by the line, and they're doing a fine job and good tough running. Picks up the 1st down now, so the Eagles are in business right about the 10-yard line.
Kenny, number 73, is back in there, the big guy from Clemson, a very solid left guard, 265, 270. Quick and Kenny Jackson receivers. That's quick in motion. The drive to Wilbert Montgomery makes 2 people missing. The flags are down. Montgomery made the end zone, but a flag was thrown back near the line of scrimmage. Hold the phone.
Those are killers. Those will put scars on you.
Marion Campbell.
Holding. Number 65, offense. Repeat, 1st down.
Dennard with Smerlis. And how you can detect holding on one play and not another, I don't know.
Pretty tough right there. A good job there out initially by Hubie Oliver, who got a block on the blitzing linebacker, Lucius Sanford, and that sprung Wilbert, but to no avail.
Eagles only have one rushing touchdown so far this year. That would have been a momentum gainer if there ever was one. It's first down now. And 20 to go. Back on the 20-yard line. Jaworski being rushed. Now he's got time. Dumps it to Oliver, who drops the ball at the 13-yard line. Marv was there, but it would have been a completion.
But good mobility that time by Jaworski. Would have got about 10 yards back, but now they're still in that 20 situation.
Haven't scored a touchdown in the first quarter, as I told you earlier, and there's 2:27 left on the clock. Not important unless you're 1-4.
In the situation now, they wanted to stay out of, Tom. Second long yardage, they more than likely they'll go to the shotgun, and when they go to the shotgun, no, they're not in it.
And 4 down linemen, so that they're expecting pass. At least Buffalo looks like they are. Here they come. Jaworski with good time dumps it off. This is Kenny Jackson making people miss and gets to the 10-yard line. Good running by Kenny Jackson. Sanford and Talley, the linebackers, finally got him after a gain of 10.
Well, I think that they're thinking now might be to go away from the shotgun some, because that was a definite shotgun situation for him. And Jaworski took the snap up there. He can just do a few more things underneath that center than back in the shotgun situation. Jackson a good job here and shows his quickness.
I thought Jaworski was very relaxed yesterday. You know, his mother's at the game, and Marion Campbell was as relaxed as you can be when you're a great old war horse like Swamp Fox. You want to win. They're a young team, very, very young, the Eagles are. It's third down and 10. Flags are down. Jaworski's going to go ahead and complete the play. Their flags are dropped for the interference call, but there was a flag dropped earlier on illegal procedure. It was quick. It was interfered with.
Jaworski knew he had a free one because the Eagles were, or rather the Bills were offsides originally.
That's Jack Fetty, the fellow with no hat and no hair down there.
But they might be talking about a defensive holding call on one of the Bills, number 21, Don Wilson, I think. May have been there a little early.
Now, Gordon McCarter is the fellow in the dark hat. He is the counselor, so to speak. He will take what they recommend, and he has to make the decision.
There's a false start on the quarterback. He drew the defense.
So, the interference call has absolutely no bearing because it didn't even happen as far as the officials are concerned.
They called it on Jaworski. I think he went back and they're going to talk some more. They're huddling again.
I don't blame him.
A false start on the quarterback.
There haven't been many of those called.
Maybe they get him for a head bob or something like that. I don't know what else it could be.
Marion Campbell would like to have this explained. Jaworski still is not willing to.
They started to make the call. They're going to walk away, talk it over again.
To call the Supreme Court.
Here we go.
The false start on number 7 takes precedence. There is no defensive foul. It's 5 yards. Repeat the.
Marion Campbell.
That was graphic.
You can read lips.
See what Jaworski did. They called him for drawing the defense off here. Now, if he bobs his head, it's legitimate. If he's doing it with his voice inflection, it's not legitimate. And from that angle, we couldn't see much.
I didn't see anything move. Looked like a clean snap and a good drop.
Sure did.
Whatever, it will bring up a challenging call with 1:32 left in the first period. The Bills went right down and scored to make it 7-0, and the Eagles were fighting back with this one. Here's another angle.
Take a look at it now. Jaworski, of course, you see him. Right at the snap, he was moving around a little bit, but you can move your head. You've got to look at the defense.
Is on number 7. It is still third down.
We've seen the officials make some strange calls, but this has got to be one of the all-timers.
They got to get Jaws away from him right now and start thinking about the ball game again, and that's what Dennard's doing. They've got to settle him down, and he's still got a job to do out there. That's one play out of about 60 or so they're going to have out there this afternoon.
You don't want to get thrown out of a ball game.
Exactly.
Timeout has been called. Jaworski making the good move. Take the helmet off, cool it down a little bit, talk to Ted Marcia-Broda. And so they huddle on the Eagles sideline, and they trail 7-0.
Chablis Blanc from Ernest and Julio Gallo. All the best.
Scenario, 1:32 left in the first period. We've had a near riot by the players down on the field. Jaworski was just called for, I don't know what you would call it.
I don't either. It wasn't a head bob. They didn't call it that.
But I have a feeling that Smurlus, the big nose tackle, and Dennard, the offensive center for the Eagles, are so close to one another that there is a lot of action going on right down on the line of scrimmage.
And it might be a game within a game right there.
It's a tag team.
Smurlus, a big old guy, kind of a cuddly guy, like a big koala bear, gets down there over the ball.
Just like a koala bear. 3rd and goal from the 15, and this is the shotgun that Jaworski did not want to be in. He's got time. Jaworski, the flags are down in the end zone. Number 83, Woodruff, has what looks like a touchdown, but there is a flag on the 20-yard line. Bedlam reigns.
Personal foul. Illegal head slap. Number 76 on the defense. The touchdown is good. The penalty will be assessed on the kickoff.
A 15-yard touchdown pass, Jaworski to Woodruff. Marion Campbell is confused but happy. And as you heard, there was an unsportsmanlike head slap by Smurlus.
You could see it right there as he spun around and they throw. Now, Lucius Smith either slipped and fell a little bit. Yeah, he did go down. See him slipping and falling right there. Woodruff was wide open in the end zone. Either a good move by Woodruff or just a trip by Lucius Smith.
First touchdown catch by Woodruff in 84. The extra point is good by McFadden. It's 7-7, and number 7, Jaworski, got his revenge.
Looks like
73 yards in 10 plays. A rather colorful drive with Jaworski getting called for a penalty and then throwing his 5th touchdown pass of the season. That's the bare foot of Paul McFadden. What a great 12th round draft choice he's been. Tony Franklin's in New England, and McFadden is one of the fine young kickers. Kickoff is 8 yards deep in the end zone, and Williams will touch it down. We'll be back. And they're just beginning to bruise a little bit. Hang in there.
Eagle right guard Ron Baker is the one circled right here for you because Fred Smurlus is lined up on him. We want to show you that head slap, what they were talking about. He didn't only get it once. I think he got it twice on this play. This is the touchdown play. The penalty was called on Smurlus, so the touchdown counted. The surge right there. Watch his spin move, and he kind of gets him with his hand right there, and then another one right there.
Like a roller skating bear out
Still
there.
Going after it. About 3 head slaps.
Touchdown count. The first Eagle touchdown this season in the first quarter. Dufek going all the way and just missing number 85, who had just gotten a step. That's young Franklin. He had a step on Ellis. I believe it was Ray Ellis. Pretty good coverage and very well thrown.
Byron Franklin can flat fly. He was a sprinter in college at Auburn. He is second in the AFC now, coming into this game with 29 catches, and he is a star on the horizon, and he was open.
How far did Dufek throw that? About 60 yards in the air?
He airmailed it.
Some other scores. Dallas and St. Louis are all knotted 7-all now. St. Louis is going to hang tough with people, and of course the Cowboys are playing extremely well again. 2nd down and 10. Very good football game so far. Quick out. Dufek. Oh! Fowles was coming up very quickly, and had the ball been thrown lower, would have had an INT.
Would have walked in for 6 points, too, had he been able to stay on his feet. Good move towards the ball. I think Dufek threw it into double coverage over there. Elber Fowles rotated up here on his own, and probably not a very good read by the rookie. Threw it where he shouldn't have and got away with it.
Fowles replacing Bernard Wilson, who's been trying to play corner, but there's a lot of difference between safety and corner in this league. 3rd down and 10, facing former Yale quarterback, who really only played his senior year at Yale. On the shotgun. Defense. Going to nowhere. Hopkins was the nearest person to the ball. But somebody zigged and they should have zagged. The punting team comes on. And right now, with 1:06 left in the first, the Eagles seem to have a little momentum going. Minnesota shutting out Tampa Bay in the first quarter. John Kidd, rookie, he's knocked down, and the flags are down. They're going to get roughing the punter. This is Cooper. Cooper is drilled at the 36-yard line, right in his tracks. The flag is down. It looks like roughing.
It could either be roughing or the new rule that we saw called a couple weeks ago for faking contact by the punter is also a penalty on the punter.
Be an automatic first if this did not look like an Academy Award job. This looked like Kidd was really hit.
It was a high snap that he had to field early, so he was a little later than normal getting the ball off, and they were close to him.
Personal foul, running into the kicker. 38 on the defense, 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Gordon McCarter has spoken.
There's Kitsy, he has to go up for it. This kind of destroys his time, and they get a little bit deeper on him than they thought, and they think, well, maybe we got a shot at this one. But they hit his leg going by.
Automatic first down. That was Major Everett. He's the captain of the special teams. First down and 10. New life for Buffalo. Closing seconds of quarter number 1. I played on a couple of Eagle teams when we were 0-5 and looking for the first win, and you just can't believe it's ever going to happen. And when it does, you say, gee, this was sort of easy, you know. Washington tied up with the Colts, 7-7. This Buffalo team banged the Colts around for 3 quarters last week, and how they lost the game, I don't know. You and I looked at the tapes of it. It looked like they had them really shut down. Denver shutting out Detroit 14-0. Kay Stevenson, a former quarterback in this league. Second year as head coach. Bell on the sweep. Gets by Robinson and runs into trouble in the form of Ray Ellis. Pick up a 5. Might be the last play of this first quarter. Well played game, and as we said, rather exciting. The fur is flying up here. So, at the end of 1 quarter of play, no advantage, 7-all. With Wayne Walker up in Orchard Park, New York, for what's a good football game. You know, the Eagles lost the last 3 in a row, but I asked Marion Campbell who set up their schedule. They lost to Dallas, San Francisco, and Washington. Those are 3 of the best teams in football, so it's not an easy road. 3rd down and 4, right on the 31-yard line. Defect from the shotgun. Good throw, quickly outside. That's Franklin. He has the first down. Gets to the 46-yard line. He is very quick, a 15-yarder.
Got it there in a hurry, didn't he? Off the shotgun, Joe Dufek, making this his second start in the National Football League, as we told you. A stun up in front, and he gets the ball out there in a hurry, and it was wide open. Franklin, number 85.
The Eagles had the 4 men down, too, so they were expecting the pass, but that was a quick drop. It's hard to put pressure on somebody when they throw it off that second step. 1st and 10 now. The ball is on the 46-yard line. Still in Buffalo territory. Uh-oh, busted play. Old Eli keeps it himself. Maybe picks up a yard. Kenny Clark, the Eagles version of Fred Smerlas, made the stop there. Walter Payton needs 25 yards to become the all-time NFL rushing leader. We will cut to that historic scene when and if it happens, Chicago. And we won't miss anything here because we will record so that you don't come back and find out somebody's gone 80 yards. 2nd down. Call it 8 to go. Bell trying to get outside. Good play by Robinson. Maybe a yard gain. Good play by number 56.
Play was designed to go up inside. Bell bounced it out. Jerry Robinson bounced out right along with him. Speed for speed. Robinson, one of the fastest linebackers in the league, made a good play.
It'll bring up a third down. The interesting game of chess goes on. Do they go to the shotgun with the young quarterback? There's Swamp Fox making sure he's got the right people in there, the personnel. Nobody does it better. His defensive teams for 7 years were the best in all of football. He's got a young team, and they're building it. Third down and 3, and they're in that shotgun. High snap by Dufek Hannison. Good throw. Good throw. First down catch at the 33-yard line by Brookins.
Brookins working on Herman Edwards over there now. Number 81, Mitchell Brookins, might be one of the 3 or 4 fastest receivers in the National Football League. He was a sprinter in the Big Ten at Illinois, fastest player on this team, and Herman Edwards had to give him a little bit of cushion. And when you give him a cushion and the ball gets there that quickly, as Dufek threw it.
And it's an easy pattern for a young quarterback because he sees the whole thing in front of him. It's very safe for him. Stevenson with a team that's 0-5 and under a lot of pressure. I can't think of a tougher job than being a head coach in the NFL. First and 10 call. Bell running to his left. He breaks through inside the 25-yard line. Good running. Bigfoot Harrison has to tackle him there. A 9-yard gain. Don't forget, next Sunday it's CBS doubleheader day. All starts with the NFL today. And most of you will be seeing the New York Giants and the Atlanta Falcons. The second half of the doubleheader, all of you will see the Dallas Cowboys and the Washington Redskins. It's been a great series, and of course it's CBS Sports doubleheader day next Sunday. It all starts with the studio back in New York and then great football action. Second down and call it a yard. Misdirection. Booker Moore piles in there and looks like he has the first down. Former Penn Staters, a lot larger than he used to be when I used to see him play for Joe Paterno. He's carrying about 225 around now.
Wait till the guy that plays behind him comes in. Speedy Neal, rookie out of Miami. Speedy weighs about 260. Got him listed at 250, and out of practice the other day, he walked by me and the ground shook, and I asked the trainer, I said, what does he weigh? He said, oh, he's up above 260 now.
And he's a running back. First and 10, Buffalo on a roll, 20-yard line. 7-7 tie here in the second quarter. Dufek rolling left. Now he's going to unload the ball. He's trying to waste it in the end zone. Intended for Kennard, who says it was interfered with. There is a yellow flag on the 2-yard line.
Well, young Dufek, as they talk it over, showed great mobility on that one. Kenny Clark had good pressure on him back there, and he danced out, got a second look downfield, and made something happen.
Gordon McCarter.
There is no foul. The illegal contact did not occur because the quarterback had left the pocket area. No foul. Second down.
That means that if the quarterback runs with it, he's a football player. You can go ahead and rock him, I guess.
It's the pressure he got right away, play action, but it didn't fool anybody. Here comes Clark, number 71. He's the one that flushes him out of the pocket. The rookie taking a look downfield, moving sideways on the run, lobbed it up. And that was one of those incidentals. I mean, no one's going to catch that ball. They're out of bounds anyway.
I know it. Well, we got it over again. Second down and 10. High formation. Eagles made a jump. Looks like Dufek caught him. That's Bell. He's got a free one. Hit hard by Jerry Robinson at around the 10-yard line. That's going to be close to another first down. Bell slow getting up.
Almost looked like the Eagles were caught up in a blitz situation. I'm not sure, Berkey, but well, once they popped through the line, there wasn't anyone back there. A quick hitter by Bell.
Nobody was offsides then, huh? Obviously, the Bills will take that play if it's close to the first. Jones, big lineman, is making sure that it's inches to go. 7-7 tie. Jaworski to Woodruff, touchdown pass. Bell scored early in the first quarter for Buffalo.
Offside, defense, declined, third down, inches.
McCarter regaining control of the game that he lost a few moments ago. Bell now has 57 yards on 10 carries. I always worried about giving those officials the voice, you know. I liked it when they were just sort of anonymous people that controlled the environment of the game itself.
The offensive line, I think, liked it a lot better than two.
We've got inches to go down here for a first down. It will be 3rd and probably 3 inches. Buffalo is 5 of 6 on 3rd down conversions, and this doesn't need much. Booker, Moore, and Bell. Bell. Close. Maybe not anything. Brown and Harrison.
Greg Brown did a fine job that time, as did a couple other people over on the right side of that Philadelphia defense. And it's going to be extremely close to the first down. They only needed an inch or two, and they did not get it. Now they're going to bring it in.
Bigfoot Harrison stacked it up, and Greg Brown came around the side. It didn't look like he got
the
line of scrimmage.
The officials felt the same way, but I think Buffalo wanted a measurement, and it was close enough to.
It's still 3 inches to go. Now what do? Do you take your field goal try?
Oh, I think you got to. If you're an 0-5 team, I think you got to go for it.
The people always say that until you don't make it.
If you can't make 3 inches and 2 shots at it.
The crowd's agreeing with you, Walker. They want to go for it. Booker, Moore, and Greg Bell. They are shoulder to shoulder. Defense. I don't know. The quarterback couldn't have made more than a foot.
Second effort may have got it for him. He tried to go straight ahead initially, and somebody really had it stuffed in there, and then he slipped off to the left and may have gotten it.
Armstrong on the bottom. Briggs in there, the linebacker. 10:26 left before halftime. A real good football game. It's a first, 5 inches.
It's a strong young quarterback, Joe Dufek.
That's Fred Bruni, the defensive backfield coach for years, standing alongside Marion Campbell. First down and 10. I believe they can get a first down without scoring a touchdown. No, they would just score, I believe. It's just about on the line. The toss back to Bell. Great play by number 51. Came up quickly, Reggie Wilkes. Robinson also in on the tackle.
Wilkes just recovering from a broken toe himself, back in the lineup. Jody Schultz had been playing over there earlier in the year and made a good job that time by stringing that sweep out and making the play.
Right on the line, no gain. Second down and goal to go. Call it 9.5. Bernard and Franklin, the receivers. Dufek, straight drop back. Looks like it might be good. It's no good. Bernard did not get the feet down on the end zone line.
Preston Denard, who started so many years for the Los Angeles Rams. Case Stevenson brought him here for a purpose, a veteran receiver that could help out his young receivers and the quarterback, and didn't quite get in, and that's a good throw, though, by Dufek.
I liked it because he looked one way, looked off the receiver, then came back to the person that was the hot receiver and hit him, but just over the end line. And Fowles breathes again, playing secondary. It's third down and goal to go. Shotgun. Right through Dawkins' hands. And I mean, it was so catchable that it's unbelievable.
I'll tell you, Berger, this Dufek is getting the ball to the right man on every play, just about, and that's a sensational job for a young guy starting only his second game. He goes to the receiver right here that's wide open, has it right on the money.
Wow.
And you're going to catch that ball, what? 98 times out of 100.
I've been out in the front yard. Dawkins has never dropped one like that in his life.
Exactly.
The young quarterback keeping control of himself. Good-looking athlete. His brother plays with Seattle. Here's Joe Danello. Hofer will be holding. Ball from about the 17-yard line, so it'll be a 27-yarder. It's good. There's a flag down on the field. It may have been offsides by the Eagles trying to get the block. They've blocked a couple in a row now, the last 2 weeks the Eagles have. They'll take, obviously, the field goal. Buffalo will. It's on the board.
Number 20, defense, offside, penalty decline, field goal good.
Danello is 8 of 12 on the year. Coach Stevenson has a chance to breathe a little bit. It's 10-7. (9:10) left before half. You're looking at Joe Danello, who just kicked the field goal. He will be kicking off, and young Joe Hayes is back to return. A 10-7 ball game. Walter Payton's within 17 yards of that rushing record, and we're going to swing you right to Chicago as soon as that happens. Hayes takes it 2 yards deep in the end zone, and it's stacked up at the 18-yard line. Good coverage. Brian Carpenter down very quickly for that one.
Look at that Buffalo scoring drive where they ended up getting the 3 points there. 18 plays. They had the ball for 18 plays. The key play, of course, was that roughing the kicker call when they got the ball back from the Eagles to keep that drive going.
It took them 4 plays to get 3 inches. That's good defense.
But they've been out there a long time.
That's right. Don't forget, Walter Payton needs 17 yards to become the all-time rushing leader. I hope he gets it this week. 1st and 10. Jaworski. Hometown boy back to destroy this team. A screen play out to the side. That's Wilbert Montgomery. Wilbert ridden out of bounds at the 27-yard.
They did a good job closing on that.
An 8-yard pickup. The play looked like it was going to go for more. Minnesota now tied by Tampa Bay, 14-all. McKay's offense warming up. 2nd down and 2. Ball's on the 26. Wilbert Montgomery gets rid of 2 people and tries to get to the 30-yard line. Haslett hanging on there. You know, he has over a 4-yard average. They just haven't been able to give him the ball very much this year. Washington and the Colts, 7-7. Wonder if Theismann's talking yet. Detroit now on the scoreboard. Denver leading 14-7. Boy, Gary Danielson's having some year.
The Lions have played a lot of close games. They've lost, I think, 4 games by a total of 11 points.
Cleveland 6, New England 3. That's an 8th inning score, I'm sure. 1st and 10. On the 30-yard line. Inside drive play. That's Oliver. Not much. Young offensive line. There are only 15 players on this Eagles team that were on the 80 team that went to the Super Bowl under Dick Vermeil. Only 15 players left. So you can see that Marion Campbell is retooling. Boy, he's got young receivers like Quick and Kenny Jackson. It's going to be a very good offensive ball club very, very shortly. There's the Fox.
And got to keep in mind that the Raided is playing the #1 toughest schedule in the National Football League this year.
2nd down and 5. Jaworski with a lot of time. Now he's being chased out and dumps in the flat for Spagnola. The tight end has it at about the 34-yard line. Let's see if they stop the clock or if it's continuing to run. It's running. A little over 7 minutes left before halftime.
Jaworski here with his maneuverability, getting some pressure. Pocket starts to fold on him. 77. Ben Williams comes in and Giles throws it on the drop. And Spagnola makes a good catch over there low. It looked for a minute like it bounced in, but he did come up with it.
He's a Yaley too. We got a lot of Ivy Leaguers running around out here. There's the clock here at Rich Stadium. Jaworski is 10 of 11. 99 yards and a touchdown and 1 penalty. 3rd down. Pull at 6. Jaworski quickly back. Good throw. Wilbert Montgomery has it. Fumbles it at the 40-yard line of Buffalo.
I think they're going to call it incomplete because they don't think that Wilbert had it long enough in his control.
He seemed to turn around and lose his balance a little bit.
Strange looking play, wasn't it?
Especially for Wilbert.
Jaworski found the right man. Wilbert was wide open here. Over the linebackers. Good touch on the ball. doesn't have control of it, bounces on the ground and then is kicked, and that Mike Quick had it and thought he had something, then he lost it.
I guarantee you, I'll bet you Wilbert Montgomery has never dropped that kind of a pass before. From Greenville, Mississippi, all the way up. To Abilene Christian. Horan back to kick, the left footer. Remember, his first one was a 17-yard fizzler. Ooh, this is a hang time. This is a big punt. Wilson at the 25. Wilson still on his feet. Flags are down. Wilson with good run back potential gets to the 39-yard line. A lot of second effort there, and people are shoving each other around again. Flag usually means somebody was clipped underneath the punt return. Illegal block. 41-yard punt. That's from the line of scrimmage, so you can add 15 to that. And a 14-yard return.
Illegal block from behind. Number 58 receiving team during the return. 1st and 10.
What do you think the percentage is of those illegal blocks on a punt?
99%.
I think so.
It's 10-7.
Pontiac.
It's brand new. It's from Pontiac, and it's called Grand Am. The latest in Pontiac road car technology, Grand Am is a true driver.
And it's Sunday.
Called the Buffalo Jills up here, but they're really attractive, nice young people. 0-5. You got to play harder than that to impress these beauties.
They don't dress like that in December here, though.
They've got ski parkers on. Here's Bell going to the outside. And the Eagles have been tough against the run. Kenny Clark coming out from the nose position along with Bigfoot Harrison. I'll tell you, they have stopped that rushing game except for that one burst when Bell scored the touchdown. It's funny how the larger, bigger players are really the nicest some way, you know, in their dispositions. Thank heavens for that. But a guy like Bigfoot Harrison is really a nice person. The little guys like cornerbacks cause most of the fights. It's 2nd down and 9 on the 22-yard line. Dufek keeping the backs in. Reggie Wilkes has him for a sack back on the 10-yard line. Looked like Bell was supposed to pick up the linebacker and let him go right on by. Clark in there too.
Tom's been telling you that number 71, Ken Clark, been having a good year for the Eagles. Marie Campbell calls him one of his smartest players. Real intense guy who has, I think, been a pleasant surprise for the Eagles since they lost Charlie Johnson, who went to Minnesota, and people thought that'd be a tough job for anybody to step in and take that guy's place. But Clark has been splendid for him.
Good Michael Schuyler to Southside. 3rd down, 18 to go. Back on the 13. Shotgun. Dufek spiked up in the air and almost intercepted. I believe that was young Struthers.
Dufek is hurt.
Struthers spiked it and almost caught it on the second bounce. Dufek is limping as he comes off. AstroTurf is very unforgiving, isn't it?
Good pressure that time by the Philadelphia defense. Good penetration.
Guys, Ferguson is Ferguson in good enough shape to be able to play on that bad ankle that the veteran has?
No, I don't think so. I mean, he hasn't taken a snap all week. They'd have to go to Matt Kofler.
John Kidd, the rookie, punting. This is a tremendous punt. Back to the 40-yard line to Cooper. Cooper gets it to the 47. Good coverage and a tremendous punt by young Kidd. The quarterback is hurt. It's 10-7.
Dufek was 4 for 18. Jeez, I didn't believe it was that bad. No, I was only passing. I think.
good Lord, didn't think we were going to be playing football. Knees are not the best things to
No, that's Joe Dufek, and they're looking in the knee area. Here's how he got it. Greg Brown comes up the middle on a stunt, and he kind of stumbles loose and goes down, and he hits Dufek's knee as he's going down. The ball was tipped. Yes, it was. Number 98, Greg Brown. And you see Dufek back there in pain, and we'll get the word on him as soon as we can for you.
Eagles, meanwhile, have good field position at the 46-yard line. Jaworski having a good day, going outside. Number 81 has it. Kenny Jackson diving out of bounds. They're going to call it a good catch. And the young rookie went in the right direction. He went into the Eagles bench. 17-yarder.
That's where, again, we told you that Jaworski told us yesterday how much he enjoys working with young Kenny Jackson. He said the kid will stay out and work for hours and hours with if you want to, and they're starting to connect up. Does a good job staying in bounds here. Concentrated on the ball, dragging those knees down. It was a good call.
Jaworski's getting very good protection. That time he really could squeeze off the round when he wanted to. Into Buffalo territory at the 36. Jaworski quickly back. Tries to dump it out in the flat to Montgomery, and Kenny Johnson batted it away.
You don't have to get a sack to cause problems for the quarterback. Kenny Johnson's about 6'6", and he just gets good penetration from the right side here. He's number 91. Go as far as he can and then get those hands up, and there's the deflection.
Jaworski told us yesterday that Mike Quick is receiving so much double coverage that he's got to look for other people because number 82 has at least 2 people with him at all times. Second down and 10. Jaworski 11 of 14 in the touchdown pass. Almost 5 minutes left before the halftime. The blitz is on. Good blocking. Jaworski finds Spagnola to the 25-yard line. Boy, that time the Eagles' offensive line stacked them up.
Sure did. They did a good job for him. They kept anybody from getting any penetration at all. No one in his face. And Spagnola there went down and just ran an option on the linebacker. Made a turn, found a spot in the zone, and sat down right in it. Look at him, number 88. And Jaworski right on time with it.
Buffalo defensive linemen look like they're all standing up. You know, nobody's on the ground. First and 10 for the Eagles. They trail 10-7. Right now they're on the Buffalo 25. Look at Schmerlis. He and Bennett are as close as you can possibly get. Inside drive. Montgomery cutting back. Wilbert Montgomery inside the 20 to the 17. And losing his helmet.
Just an instinctive run by Montgomery. There's Joe Dufek. And we mentioned if he doesn't look like he's going to be able to go. He really doesn't. You can see the disappointment and the frustration on his face. And it's Joe Ferguson, but we don't think he'll go. He didn't practice all week. And Ferguson might be able to play, but he's got a sprained right ankle. His left ankle, the one that he didn't set up on, he might be able to go. But that is Matt Topler, the backup quarterback, and he'll be the one that'll go.
We'll take a look at him in just a moment. Right now, the Eagles are on a drive. Hubie Oliver, the fullback, getting it to the 15, trying to cross up the defense, but thinking they were keen on Wilbert Montgomery. Haslett in there, plugging it up. Montgomery was a 6th-round draft choice back in '77. They got Wilbert out of the draft out of Abilene Christian, who had sort of an injury problem in college.
Yeah, how's a guy, but he scored a ton of touchdowns. There's 76 touchdowns in college. How's a guy like that wait till the 6th round before anybody picks him?
Amazing. Mark Nordquist was the guard traded to Chicago to get that choice, one of the greatest ever. First down by the tip of the pigskin. Nine yards left for Walter Payton to become the all-time NFL rushing leader, and we're going to take you there so that you can see him presented with the ball. Like Roger Maris hitting his 61 home runs that time. It's a moment that you want to be a part of, and we at CBS want you to certainly be there. First and 10. 3 minutes left, just under 3 left before half. Inside handoff, number 32, Michael Williams. About a 1.5 yard gain, and one of the strangest calls I've ever seen. I got a horse like Wilbert Montgomery and bring somebody cold in off the bench. Haslett making another tackle. Michael Williams is a 225-pounder, 6'2". The crowd is applauding the young quarterback from Yale who is taking the cart into the dressing room. Jaworski, meanwhile, back to throw. He's waving around, throwing the end zone, and just overthrows Kenny Jackson at the back part of the end zone. There's Dufek.
Left knee, of course, for Dufek, as you saw, and they'll probably get him down in there at halftime and examine it closer, maybe x-ray it, and we'll get better word on what it is. But obvious disappointment for him. I kind of hate to see the kid go down, too. You know, you never know when you're in on one of these stories, like a Johnny Unitas story, a guy gets to play, and it's always makes it kind of interesting, I think.
The toughest critics in the world that just gave him a standing ovation. The people that pay the money to watch you play, they appreciate this young man. Meanwhile, the veteran from Lackawanna, New York, is under the center, and it's 3rd down and 7. Jaworski, a strike. Spagnola is being hammered at the 7-yard line by at least 3 different people.
Maybe short, maybe just a touch short, too, and Marion Campbell will have a decision on 4th down. Let's see where they spot it. Spagnola may not have had enough to pick up the 1st down. Boy, this is a...
Looked like he didn't quite get to the line. He had to get to the 5-yard line.
But Randy Newman's sunshine can do strange...
Just short of it. It appears to us. Stick around. This baby's going to get close.
Some things...
2 minutes before halftime. Marion Campbell, Jaworski, Ted Marcia-Broda, the offensive coordinator, former head coach in Baltimore, and a very good one. And they've got Wilbert Montgomery back in there, which the old fox knows. You go with your best.
They got a 4th down situation with about 2 or 3 inches to go, so this is a huge play on both sides of the football right now.
Get some good wide splits and let him pick the crack. Spagnola and Cab, 2 tight ends are in there. This is the big play in the first half right here, folks.
Charles doesn't like what he saw.
Good time to burn it. Touchdowns are more important than timeouts. My coach always used to save them. 10-7. Young head coach in a very tough situation right now. Inches to go, 4th down. Spagnola in motion. Handoff. Wilbert over the top. Looks like he has it. He made the line.
Pretty good effort there, huh?
Couple of tons there.
Boy, that's called giving your body up.
They didn't even let him come down on the ground. He needed about 3 inches. And that's about what he got.
He just launched himself like a human cannonball here. He come flying out of the cannon at the circus across there and take some shots, but got the necessary inches. And the Eagles are in business just inside the 5, 1st down.
Marion Campbell checking with Marcia-Broda, Oliver and Montgomery in there. The Eagles trail 10-7. The handoff outside Oliver. He stacked up at the 5-yard line. Good defense. Linebackers came from nowhere. That was Sanford. He used to be a teammate with Reggie Wilkes down at Georgia Tech. Can't believe that anybody beat Georgia Tech when they were both there playing defense together.
A good team defense here. Stopped it outside and gets help inside.
Chuck Knox had a pretty good ball club up here for a few years, didn't he? Had him in the playoffs. Now Stevenson is trying to bring him back. They were 8-8 a year ago, but they're 0-5 now. 2nd and goal. Jaworski, touchdown. Vito Cab, the 240-pound tight end from Penn State.
Boy, Jaws had it all the way, didn't he? They had that play, and it went right to him, didn't look anywhere else off the play action. And there it was. They saw something in the films during the week. Vito Cab probably blocked down for about a second or so, and then won on out in the pattern, and he was completely lost to the Buffalo secondary.
Ron's mother, Mildred Jaworski, is here with the family from Lackawanna. Great day for a guy to come back to his hometown and do well. Here's the hold by Jaworski, the kick by McFadden. Well, this young guy has a nice kicking motion. It's 14-10. There are 49 seconds left. Walter Payton. I bet he's getting close to that record.
Giving that extra effort makes winners. Be All You Can Be, sponsored by the U.S. Army. There are few NFL players who excel at all aspects of the game like the Los Angeles Rams' Nolan Cromwell. Number 20.
You can do it in the Army.
It's a touchdown pass. Jaworski to Vito Cab. The play action will hold the linebackers. Watch number 54. He can't go anywhere until he sees what's happened. And also throws number 21, Don Wilson, and Cab was wide open.
McFadden's kick taken by Wilson at the 2, and Wilson makes a good return out to the 25, where he goes out of bounds and stops the clock. Now, what a tough place for a young quarterback named Matt Kofler to come in. Replacing somebody else with the last few seconds left. 54 yards in 11 plays.
Not only that, Brookie, but you got to consider, since they were working so extra hard with Joe Dufek this week around here in Buffalo, Kofler probably took less snaps during the week than he would in a normal situation. Kofler's had more experience than Dufek, though. He's been the backup quarterback for Ferguson the past couple of years and played a lot in the preseason this year. But at the end of a couple games this season, they brought him in. He didn't do well, and that's why Dufek passed him up. So he's really had more experience than Dufek, but not enough work this week probably to be in the situation he's in now.
Ferguson, though, started 107 straight games, so he's never started a game, that's for sure. Here's the handoff to Bell. That's a good way to get the adrenaline settled down in your stomach. Bell out to the 31-yard line, may have fumbled the football. Eagles are a little bit ravenous. They're going after that ball on defense.
They got it.
They got it. Let's see who came up with it. Andre Waters, I believe. Billy Friel is that Andre Waters came up with it. Big recovery. Not the quarterback's fault, however.
The handoff here to Bell. Now, it's just good hustle by the defense. Watch all those green shirts over here now as this guy turns upfield and people putting shots on him and punching out at that ball, and it gets loose.
Darby caused it, and Waters came up with it. It didn't look like Bell was trying to lug this very earnestly. Did you think it looked like he's thinking the half's over or something?
Jerry Robinson in there, too, and had a hand in it.
Big opportunity, and Jaworski is red hot. They're in the Eagles shotgun right now. 1st and 10 on the 28-yard line of Buffalo. Jaworski screening to Wilbert Montgomery, who's got a blocker out there. Well played by the linebacker, number 56, Talley, really played off the blocker and kept Wilbert maybe from getting a touchdown.
Talked early how tough a play that is for a linebacker, but Talley's got the physical attributes to make this play. He can reach over blockers. As I said, he's about 6'5". Watch him play the block off right here. Keep his feet, and with his reach, haul Wilbert in. That's an excellent play.
Baker had a pretty good block on him, too. He just stayed with it, didn't he, that linebacker? Linebacker's toughest job, and Talley pulled it off. 2nd down and 4 on the 22. Shotgun. Jaworski doesn't particularly like the shotgun. He likes this one. That's Woodruff coming across the middle, trying to get out of bounds inside the 20 to the 18. Tackled there by number 22. That's Steve Freeman. Jaworski's having a pretty good throwing day, isn't he?
She is.
16 seconds left. Number 7 goes to the sidelines, and the Eagles are leading.
So thanks, because thanks to you, it works for all of us. The United Way. I love you.
This message furnished by the National Football League.
Local boy makes good, but in the wrong uniform.
Yeah, look how good he's making, too. 16 out of 20, 148 yards and 2 touchdowns, so he's hot. Remember we talked at the top of the show, he said, if I get some time today, I want to be tough on this team.
He was very candid.
He has been, yes he has. He thought he could do something with the Buffalo defense, and he has.
Jackson, Woodruff, and Quick, 3 very, very fast receivers in there, and it's Eagle shotgun time. 1st and 10 on the 18. 16 seconds left. Jaworski going up. Jackson has it knocked away in the end zone. Brian Carpenter covering very well.
Excellent job of coverage back there, and Josh kind of threw that one up, just hoping Kenny Jackson would out-jump him. It didn't work out. Brian Carpenter is number 30. We got him for used to be with the Washington Redskins, and the Bills picked him up this year. He's in good shape here on Jackson. Playing the ball with his head and eyes perfectly, goes up, and he almost looked like he was the intended receiver.
Looks like the Redskins could use him right now. Good secondary play by Brian Carpenter. Marion Campbell on the right of your screen. The kicker, the barefooted one. He's a trustworthy kicker. That's the way Marion Campbell talks about Gun McFadden. Second down and 10. 11 seconds on the clock. 10. Jaworski threw that one away. The waste pitch. Tony Woodruff, he was the intended receiver, and Rome's in good shape. And here comes McFadden.
10-12 McFadden is for the season.
He's got a nice smooth stroke. 12th round draft choice.
He's from the Jaworski school too, isn't he? Youngstown?
Youngstown State.
What's their name? The Penguins or something like that?
I think that's it. They wear tuxedos. Jaworski holding. Two very fine alumnus from that school. Jaworski holding down. It's good. They're carried by a lot. So the Eagles take the recovered fumble and turn it into 3 points. Very quickly now, they've scored 10 unanswered points.
They scored 10 points in 47 seconds.
You know, they always say that players win games and coaches lose them, but I don't believe that. I think that Marion Campbell is an excellent administrator. And if people think he's just sort of a lazy, drawling old guy, they're wrong. The players really respect him very much.
Well, you know, and they do. They were talking yesterday, you know, this is terrible for us. We're 1-4, but we know that Marion has empathy for us. We know that he knows that we're trying. We've been practicing hard. We've been playing hard. He knows that. Fred Bruni, the entire staff, knows it. And I just hope that the players have some empathy back for the coaching staff.
That's right. Don't forget, coming up at halftime, scores and highlights with Britt Nerve from the studio back in New York. And Britt looks back at the Giants-Rams game, which they call the wacky game of last week, the Giants and the Rams. That's when the Giants suffered 3 safeties, I think, and probably the record will hold in the NFL for quite some time. That one. McFadden now kicking off. He squibs this one, taken at the 35-yard line by number 27, Greg White. And that may be the last play of the first half. And the Eagles move a notch up toward getting that second win of the year. Marion Campbell says it's going just about like he and Bruni have figured it would. How much can you do at halftime when your quarterback, I'm talking about Stevenson now, will have to look the situation over and go with Koeffler, huh?
No question. I think that they're probably going to have a crash course. They'll have Matt Koeffler in there cramming like mad at halftime, going over adjustments. It'd be like taking a college exam for him out here in the second half. But like, I really don't think that we talked to Case Stevenson on Friday and said, would you go to Joe Ferguson at all if something would happen to Dufek? And he said, really, under no circumstances do I think I would, because he's just not going to be healthy, and why risk him for one more game when you can have him the rest of the year?
That's the end of the first half. It's 17-10. Number 7, Ron Jaworski. He's been booed in Philadelphia, but I remember in 1980, the Maxwell Club, of which I'm a board member, we presented him with the Bert Bell Award. And I'll tell you, I don't know if I've ever seen anybody that shows up in a community more than Ron Jaworski. You know, if he says he'll be at a dinner or for Boy Scouts or whatever it is, he shows up. And there's a lot to be said for people like that, at least in my opinion.
Well, I know, and we talked about earlier in the telecast how tough he's been and how durable, and he's a winner.
McFadden kicking off. And still on his feet at the 27-yard line. That's Wilson that came out with it. Don Wilson, he darn near broke that, you know it? Almost broke the second half kickoff. I thought he was going to get away, and it looks like tempers have flared once again. Walter Payton has broken that record, and we're going to take us, everybody here in the audience, to New York for an update on that in just a moment. I don't think there's any doubt he would break it. What quarter is the big thing. I wonder if the Bears are going to win the football game. That might be more important. 1st and 10. Right on the 27-yard line. Hofer, misdirection handoff to Bell. As Wayne Walker said, they're trying to get the running game going. Let's go to New York now for an update with Brent Musburger.
Rookie, here's the run that did it. The second play from scrimmage in the third quarter. Peyton finds daylight and squirms for 5 yards, and Jim Brown's record is no more. And Walter's family overjoyed at the press box. Let's go back to Tom Brookshire.
One record that he will never break, though, is 7 seasons where Big Jim averaged 100 yards per game for 7 straight weeks. That's one that nobody's going to hang up. Second down and 6. Inside handoff. Bell hit from behind, but still gets out over the 35. Joel Williams making the tackle. That Bell's a lot stronger looking than it appears. He doesn't look too large to you, but you look at him. He's got broad shoulders, and he's sort of short and hard to tackle.
I tell you, he's got to be strong to pack around all that jewelry he was wearing the other day when we talked to him. He looked like Mr. T. He had so much gold on.
At $340 an ounce, he had a lot hanging on his neck, all right. All right, it's third down and short. Third and call it a yard and a half for a first down. Matt Kofler is in. Young Dufek, we haven't seen. He has a sprained left knee, but we haven't seen him come back out. Here's Bell getting the first down. Almost out to the 40-yard line. Kenny Clark making the tackle there along with Jerry Robinson. This is the one area where Buffalo thought they could do some good running. And so far, the Eagles have sort of shut it down since that first quarter.
Bell had a couple good runs early in the ball game, but in the second quarter, Philadelphia did tighten up and shut it down. Now is what they'll probably do with Kofler to break him in. I wouldn't be surprised to give him a little play-action pass on first down. Keep it short and keep it careful, and just to mix things up a little bit for the Philadelphia defense.
It's his game to win. He's like a reliever. He's like the goose coming in out of the bullpen. Here's the fake play-action pass, and it's caught. A jumping catch at the 45 by Byron Franklin. I mean, that was a tough catch.
Well, that was a great catch by number 85. We talked to you about him earlier. A running back in high school, 9.5 speed in college. You're in on the same relay team down at Auburn with Harvey Glantz, and you got to respect that speed. They are. Look at him drive it down, pull it up. He said his main improvement, he's in his third year now. It's just been an effect. He's becoming more of a technician and aware of situations. And he said, the best thing I do now is I have a feel for zones. That was a zone there. He said, I feel where the zones are, and I get in between them, and I sit right down in them. He said, that's what I do best now.
And Herm Edwards had him up on his shoulders, and he still made the catch. Bell off the right side. No dice. Bigfoot Harrison blocking it up. You can't play the 34 defense without having certainly that.
And jam it up right here. Lead block by Booker Moore is through the hole, and then it just closed on it so fast after Harrison came off his block.
That's what he told us about Devlin, the tackle across from him. He said he's one of the best holders he's ever seen. He said his technique is fantastic. A line of scrimmage. What a place it is down there. You'd be surprised. The talking that goes back and forth. 75 yards for Bell on 18 carries. Second down and 7. Kofler about to throw his second pass. Good reaction, overthrowing Booker Moore in the flat, and he goes down. He gets hit for the first time in the game, the quarterback. Scores from elsewhere, St. Louis by a point at halftime. That probably will not hold up. Minnesota, Tampa Bay strangling one another, 21 all.
Tampa Bay playing without Hugh Green, who was in a car accident during the week.
28-7, Washington now.
Everybody was giving Washington up for dead when they lost their first 2 games, but they forgot they played Miami and the 49ers.
Pretty good football team. That squad there. Beathard's built quite a program there, he and Joe Gibbs. Here we have a third down and 7 on the 42, and young Kofler's in the shotgun. He's getting a big rush. Oh, there's some holding there, and the flags are down. Bigfoot Harrison was held, and also number 94.
Brian Darby. Boy, he come up through the middle, and they had him ring-necked.
Looked like an Apache stranglehold somebody had on him.
Great penetration that time, though, by the Philadelphia defensive line, in particular Darby up the middle.
So we'll bring on the young punter. Let's wait till McCarter here makes his decision. They're picking up the flags. Obviously.
Holding number 53 on the offense. Penalty declined. Fourth down.
Will Grant, the offensive center. Marion Campbell puts another stick of gum in. Works it over. And Kidd, the punter, is in. Quite a punting duel between he and Horan. Cooper's back to take it. And the other punt was a hanging 47-yard. Ooh, this is a big kick.
Rocket.
Cooper fakes the fair catch, and it's going to back down to about the 5-yard line. Good coverage by Buffalo. And that ball had backspin. It looked like a red shot. There's a fight breaking out now at the 7, and a few players are involved. Yorkshire and Wayne Walker up at Rich Stadium, and the fans had about their only thrill for the last quarter or so when that punt was down on the 5.5-yard line. The Eagles had a long way to go, but Jaworski, he is humming today. 1st and 10. He's back to throw, and it's batted and almost intercepted. There are flags down at the 5-yard line. Talley deflected the ball, but they may have had defensive holding over there.
They may have offsides also on Philadelphia. Someone started early.
Yeah, the Bills are clapping their hands like it's to their advantage. It can only be half the distance if it's against Philadelphia.
Offside, number 82, offense, penalty declined, 2nd down.
Mike Quick broke a little too early. The Bills have done some job in putting the clamps on number 82 today. Huh?
That's like Jaws told us, though. They got 2 people on him all the time. So you kind of expect that. He has to work to catch every ball.
Buffalo declined it, obviously, so to bring up 2nd down and 10. Jaws with a 17-10 lead now. Jaworski back. Throwing from the end zone. Oh, almost intercepted. Intended for Kenny Jackson at the 25, but Hassler had the best shot at it.
Not his best throw of the day. I'm not talking about what it had on it. I'm talking about where he put it, because the Buffalo defense was all over this one. Good job up front for him. He has plenty of vision. Smirlis coming in right at the last, but he tried to get it through some people there that was pretty shaky.
So it brings up a 3rd down and 10. And that punt by a young kid that was down on the 5 may be a pivotal play in this ball game. The Eagles have got to get out of their own territory. They're deep. A handoff to Wilbur Montgomery, who gets a block, and is pulled out from behind at the 10-yard line. Good defensive play by Thompson, number 24. Good tackle. Other scores, Denver 21, Detroit 7. The Broncos are a surprising team. They even outfought the Raiders last week. New York Jets 17-9 over Kansas City in the 3rd period. And Cleveland's laying it on New England 16-3. Here's Mike Horan, the young left-footed punter. He's kicking from the end zone. They'll be putting some pressure on. It's Don Wilson back to accept. Fair kick. Pretty good hang down. Wilson at the 49-yard line of Philadelphia. Wilson on the dead move inside the 35 to the 33. And the crowd comes to life. We'll be right back. It's heating up. There's the score, 17-10, but that is tenuous indeed right now for the Eagles, because good field position, good run back by Wilson of the punt. That ball is on the 33-yard line, 1st and 10. And young Koeffler, Matt Koeffler, is trying to set his backs behind him in the eye. That's Booker, Moore, and Bell. Now they split out into a pro set. Inside handoff, Booker Moore got a good trap hole, gets inside the 25 to the 24-yard line.
Booker Moore, the big guy from Penn State with good speed and good hands. He's an all-around player up here and very dependable. Excellent blocker, as you have seen for Greg Bell, but gets a shot that time and bowls his way for substantial yardage.
Pretty good-looking blocking pattern by that offensive line. They hang in there, don't they?
Now, they're not big. We were talking about that. They're one of the smallest offensive lines in the league, but one of the most solid.
What amazing. We talk about they're not big. They average about 253 or 4. That's small now.
Yeah, it sure is. You get a 250-pound tackle, and as Ray Ellis is shaking up and going off, you get a 250-pound tackle. Now, there's debate whether he's big enough to play.
I was impressed talking to Ray Ellis yesterday, weren't you? Young man from Ohio State. He's a good hitter, and he's back there with Hopkins and playing safety in this league now. You've got to take on 230-pound backs, and he took on Booker Moore that time. Bree Wilson is in to play safety. Don't forget, next Sunday it's CBS doubleheader day. It all starts with the studio group of the NFL Today. Then it's most of you will see the New York Giants against Atlanta, and everybody will see this one, Dallas, Washington. That's a grudge match. You got to see that. Next Sunday. Bell swinging the left, gets a good block, good defense. Eagles really pursued that time. The linebackers swept in. Briggs getting the first shot at Bell. No gain. Flag is down. Let's see what this is. Perhaps holding. Be an interesting call defensively whether you want to take the penalty now or just throw the play away.
Holding, number 53, offense, repeat, second down.
Give the young quarterback another play. They don't feel that's quite as dangerous as the penetration that the Bills were making at the moment. 9:02 left in the third period, a 17-10 ball game.
I'm in a sure passing situation now, so they'll be coming at him with some stunts up front at least.
Second down and 13. Young Cofer from San Diego State. Straight drop back. He's got the backside of the backfield, and the rush is going to get Cofer. Throws it on the run. Good play. Bell makes the catch and receives a hard wrap by Jerry Robinson. The young quarterback made a pretty good move in that pocket.
Yes, he did. He got some early pressure. I think Joel Williams came in on a blitz from the outside and got near him immediately. Then some more filtration up through the middle. He stepped out and got the ball out to Bell in pretty good shape. Jerry Robinson is 56. Back on a pattern now. Keen back, head and eyes back there. Sees the back come out. Still watching back in the backfield. And then he'll time it up and make the play. You can't do it any better than that.
You know, he was All-American 3 straight years at UCLA. One of the few people that's ever done it.
Working the defense.
There's the score, 17-10, but that is tenuous indeed right now for the Eagles because good field position, good run back by Wilson of the punt. That ball is on the 33-yard line, 1st and 10. And young Matt Cofer is trying to set his backs behind him in the eye. That's Booker Moore and Bell. Now they're split out into a pro set. Inside handoff, Booker Moore. Got a good trap hole, gets inside the 25. To the 24-yard line.
Booker Moore, the big guy from Penn State with good speed and good hands. He's an all-around player up here and very dependable. Excellent blocker, as you have seen for Greg Bell, but gets a shot that time and bowls his way for substantial yardage.
Pretty good-looking blocking pattern by that offensive line. They hang in there, don't they?
Now, they're not big. We were talking about that. They're one of the smallest offensive lines in the league, but one of the most solid.
Isn't it amazing? We talk about they're not big. They average about 253 or 4. That's small now.
Yeah, it sure is. You get a 250-pound tackle, and as Ray Ellis is shaking up and going off, you get a 250-pound tackle. Now, there's debate whether he's big enough to play.
I was impressed talking to Ray Ellis yesterday, weren't you? Young man from Ohio State. He's a good hitter, and he's back there with Hopkins and playing safety in this league now. You've got to take on 230-pound backs, and he took on Booker Moore that time. Bree Wilson is in to play safety. Don't forget, next Sunday it's CBS doubleheader day. It all starts with the studio group of the NFL Today. Then it's most of you will see the New York Giants against Atlanta, and everybody will see this one, Dallas, Washington. That's a grudge match. You got to see that. Next Sunday. Bell swinging the left, gets a good block, good defense. Eagles really pursued that time. The linebackers swept in. Briggs getting the first shot at Bell. No gain. Flag is down. Let's see what this is. Perhaps holding. Be an interesting call defensively whether you want to take the penalty now or just throw the play away.
Holding, Number 53, offense. Repeat, second down.
Give the young quarterback another play. They don't feel that's quite as dangerous as the penetration that the Bills were making at the moment. 9:02 left in the third period, a 17-10 ball game.
I'm in a sure passing situation now, so they'll be coming at him with some stunts up front at least.
Second down and 13. Young Cofer from San Diego State. Great drop back. He's got the backside of the backfield, and the rush is going to get Cofer. Throws it on the run. Good play. Bell makes the catch and receives a hard wrap by Jerry Robinson. The young quarterback made a pretty good move in that pocket.
Yes, he did. He got some early pressure. I think Joel Williams came in on a blitz from the outside and got near him immediately. Then some more filtration up through the middle. He stepped out and got the ball out to Bell in pretty good shape. Jerry Robinson is 56. Back on a pattern now. Keen back, head and eyes back there. Sees the back come out. Still watching back in the backfield. And then he'll time it up and make the play. You can't do it any better than that.
You know, he was All-American 3 straight years at UCLA. One of the few people that's ever done that.
Working the defense, too, now.
Number 1 draft for the Eagles a few years ago, and he's really played like it. Okay, Cofer back in the shotgun, and overthrowing Bell at the 27-yard line. And once in a while, Bell doesn't look like he cares.
Lots of penetration here by the Eagles defensive line. 93, Tommy Struthers. Watch him come in, get his hands up. Koeffler had to throw over him. That obscured his vision probably just enough to make this a misdirected pass. Had it been down any lower, it could have been completed.
Jerry Robinson was breathing down his neck again, too. He just hit him the time before. DeMello now will be in to try a long field goal. He has kicked a 52-yarder.
That's what this one's going to be.
That's what this one's going to be. DeMello, very successful with the Giants, and now he's come up here and he's got the rhythm back. The Eagles have blocked 2 field goals in the last 2 games. Just enough. It's short, under the bar. The crowd settles back. Not exactly happy with that. The life of a kicker. It's a nomadic one.
The Honda Accord hatchback can handle the hairpin at Sears Point.
Number 10 is the kid quarterback, but there is the Arkansas Razorback himself, Joe Ferguson. He had 107 consecutive starts until that bad ankle kept him out last week.
You can see what kind of stats he'd have, too, if he played in places where it was good weather. I mean, the last month of the season up here is pretty tough on anybody.
Montgomery on the toss out of the eye. Uh-oh, gets away from a couple of people. Makes 10 yards before he's bounced by Haslett. Wilbert Montgomery is sort of like Secretariat. If you get him out there and get him warmed up, by the 4th quarter, he can start putting some numbers up.
Good pull. Steve Kinney and Ron Baker both out in front, doing a good job. Look at Sizemore handling the linebacker there. And well, everybody had a piece of somebody, and Wilbert got out there and just picked a spot.
Wilbert, on his high school football team, had an end named Giles. Can you imagine that high school team down in Greenville? Coach was coach of the decade. 1st and 10. Ball's on the Eagle 45. Jaworski tossing back to Montgomery, and number 31 puts it away, covers the ball up, makes a couple of tough yards. Sanford stopped him there. Don't forget, college football coming up Saturday on CBS Sports. You'll see the Ohio State Buckeyes. It's Ellis's old school, Ray Ellis, with the Heisman candidate Keith Byers. They'll be going against the Fighting Illini of Illinois, where Dick Butkus came from for about 12 years. It's Saturday at 3:30 Eastern Time, right here on CBS Sports. Well, there have been a lot of upsets on the college scene, hasn't there?
Ohio State knows that.
3rd quarter clock, 6.5 minutes, 7-point margin. 2nd down 6. Jaworski back. Just dumps it over. Quick could not hang on to it, and that's about the only opportunity he's had to catch a ball today.
Number 82 is Mike Quick. Watch the attention he gets now. A bump right there. That threw the timing of the pattern off, and it was a good thing for Buffalo, too, because there was some room for Mike Quick, and once he gets it in the open, he is tough. Little Dowds knew he had something going if Quick could have been able to hold on to that ball.
The linebackers already dropped out of their head.
Yeah.
Jaworski now in shotgun on 3rd down and 6. And the Eagles have not generated much in this second half yet. They got to turn back on the pilot light. Jaworski. Good throw across the middle. Woodruff takes it on the dead run, and now look at this crowd. Sanford first. The Bills came from everywhere. The Buffalo Bills all-time group was in. That Stratton, was that linebacker? Was he here?
I think so.
Remember the hit he put on Keith Washington years ago in the old stadium?
Keith Lincoln, I think, in a playoff game. Pretty good hit right there. Lucius Sanford, number 57. Speaking of linebackers that deliver licks.
Golden wheels of Benny. Amazing, Walker. 43-yard line going in. The Eagles now with a little bit of punch on 1st and 10. Jaworski. He's getting time now. Across the middle, Spagnola. Spagnola dragging people to almost the 25-yard line. They're really opening up the middle in there, and the offensive line is blocking extremely well. 17 yards.
Let Spagnola now go down and find a spot. The closest one will be linebacker Eugene Marv, number 54. This gets in between the seams of that zone, and the Eagles tight ends have already caught more passes so far this year than they did last season, the entire season, and Spagnola's been the major reason.
Very clever receiver, Big John Spagnola. He broke the records that the Chicago Bears safety man, Pensick, set. I think they play pretty good football. Hubie Oliver on the negative trap play. The fullback plugged straight ahead. They call him the Rock Man.
Well, he got good help that time from Steve Kenny, the left guard. You know, Jaworski told us how much Kenny meant to the offensive lineup. With Dean Miraldi starting over at left tackle this year, he said Kenny, when he's in there with him, is just a real settling influence on him, and also helps make the calls. There's a lot of line calls that go on between the center and the guard and the tackles, and regarding who's going to block who up there in the defensive formations. And Kenny is very good and very alert at that.
Good situation for number 7 of the Eagles. Deep in the Bills' territory at the 16 and 2nd and the yard. You can do almost anything. That's the straight drive play. Wilbur Montgomery cutting back inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. And the Bills look like they're catching a lot of blocks now.
Now they are. That's just straight ahead stuff right there. Nothing fancy. Everybody had somebody, and Wilbur just finds a hole. Watch this. Straight ahead. Supposed to be run over here at the left, as you can tell by the lead back. Hubie Oliver coming here, but Wilbur veers away because he spotted a seam up the middle, and nobody finds him any better than number 31.
You know, there are 5 Pro Bowlers that were on that 80 team that Marion Campbell no longer has here. Carl Hairston and Carmichael and people like that are gone. So, as we said, this is a young, different team. Today they look like they've got it going. 3:26 left in the 3rd. 1st and goal. Jaworski misses Quick in the end zone. Just misses number 82. Romes was there, but I believe Quick was open.
He sure was, and he'll come up with this more times than not, too. That is not Mike Quick. That was over on the other side.
It's Kenny Jackson. There, huh?
Here's Quick. Let's take a look at it here now. Just a touch overthrown.
You and I talked about that. The cornerback has absolutely no chance if the ball is thrown right.
It's the best spot to have that ball. You got to have it a little bit out in front. You get it back close to their body, and the guy can come over and tap it or strip it. But if it's thrown about 6 inches less than it was right there, it's almost impossible for a cornerback to make the play.
The numbers on Jaworski we'll give you here in just a moment. 2 touchdown passes we know of, right? 18 of 28 for 174 yards. And 2 strikes for touchdown. 2nd down and goal. Got time. 3rd touchdown. Mike Quick, he's been working to get open. Flags are down, however.
Flag down late.
Down near the goal line. It's a 9-yard touchdown pass if it's allowed. It's against the Eagles.
Play through a slant into Mike Quick over on the right side. The flag was thrown in the end zone way over at the left. I'm anxious to see what this call is.
Pass interference, number 88, offense. Repeat, second down.
Called John Spagnola, tight end, for pushing off or something in the end zone, way away from the play. I don't know what effect it had on what happened out there.
If you get down that close to the end zone, then if you have to single up on Quick, you're in real trouble.
Look at this. Obviously, I talked to Josh and said, boy, 109 straight starts. So what keeps you in there? And he says, I'm half crazy.
Second down and 19 to go for a touchdown. Second and 19. It's shotgun time. Jaworski being rushed. Dumps it off. This is Michael Williams. He's hit and piled up at the 11-yard line. Gets almost to the 10. Buffalo's doing a lot of swarming around, but they don't seem to be very effective right now on defense.
Pretty good little move here by Michael Williams, second-year player out of tiny Mississippi College, and he was, what, a number 4 draft choice last year and played quite a bit for him. In fact, his 385 yards rushing last year with Wilbert out was second best on the team. A pretty good future, they think.
2:36 left in this third period. I'll tell you, the fourth quarter may be just a real battle. Third and goal from the 10-yard line, call it. Jaworski. In the flat. Jehuby Oliver. Oliver inside the 5-yard line. Rome's made the tackle there. Jaworski really looks like he's in control now. Again, he's faced Dallas, San Francisco, and Washington 3 weeks in a row. I guess you would be a little relaxed coming up here. Comes McFadden on. Philadelphia remembers Tony Franklin was barefooted. He has now gone north to New England. This young man's a good kicker. Jaworski will hold. This will be a 23-yard field goal attempt. Oh, he doesn't even give it a second thought. Pretty cool young man. And so, with 1:33 left, it's 20-10. You're looking right through at young McFadden. His first trip to Orchard Park, New York. Waiting for the signal. Wilson and Williams waiting. This is a short kick. Wilson's going to take this one at the 7-yard line. You've got to get a snare out to get in. Here's a good return man. Tackled, good coverage at the 14-yard line. Eagles really came down into that very quickly. Haddock's down there, the running back, covering very well, number 26.
That was our little bit of trivia that we were talking about before, that the Buffalo Bills are the only professional football team playing in New York.
That's the truth. Everybody else moved to Jersey, right?
That's right.
We'll be back. There's the clock. That's third quarter time. Crowd very quiet right now as the Bills have been pretty silent really since that first quarter. Eagles are just beginning to sort of tack it to them a little bit. Take no prisoners. First and 10 now. Ball's on the 14. Coker being chased out of the pocket. Now he dumps it off. Looked to me like linemen were downfield, and he may have given it to a lineman. No, I believe Bell ended up with the ball, but...
I think that was a planned play, believe it or not. It was almost like a quarterback screen. He set up back in the pocket, and at the same time when he rolled out to the left, watch his lineman go with him. Watch him drop back here now. Now watch the lineman go with him when he goes left. See them all leave their blocks and go out here. Quarterback screen, now he just dumps it forward here.
Boy, I'll tell you.
Bill, I haven't seen that play before, but it was a planned play, believe me.
And they were downfield, and the officials didn't catch that. Second down and 6. Pick up a 4. Was some dash play. Dash with a screen. Coker inside fake now. Sets up. Didn't go across the middle. Bell makes a leaping catch and gets to the 41-yard line. Ellis had to make a tough tackle there, or Bell was gone.
Oh, it looked like he was just about gone. What a great catch he made. The rookie from Notre Dame, their #1 draft choice up here in Buffalo.
24-yard reception. He drops some easy ones, but he makes some tough ones.
He was a good player at Notre Dame, but you didn't hear as much about him as normal because he had injuries both his junior and senior year in South Bend.
That's the end of the third quarter. Score, Philadelphia 20, Buffalo 10. We now pause for a word from your local station. We have had a good time up here in Buffalo, New York for this ball game. Everybody says, oh, you don't want to go up there, but we really had a great time. What do you think, Wayne?
I do. And graphic evidence right here that linebackers age better than defenses.
I always had a bad helmet, I think. That was my problem, you know. We're back to the action. We got 15 minutes left. Fourth quarter action. It's a 1st and 10 for the Buffalo Bills on the 42-yard line. Good catch by Bell into the third period. Kochler throwing, and Fowles came right over the top of the receiver and rode him right into the ground. That was Brookings. Good play by Fowles.
Oh, it was a great play here. Brookings can really run. We told you he was the fastest player in the Big Ten last year at Illinois. Now watch Elbert Fowles, a free agent who in his second year with the Eagles. Watch him make the turn, get his head nice back there, and then close fast while this ball's in the air. Brookins looks good for a while, but that's a good play by the young cornerback.
Big lead play by Fowles, and they sort of were picking on him early to see if he can play it. He's proven he can. 2nd down and 10 now. Topher got Kenny Clark Company to jump a little early, but they stayed onside. Now he's going to run for it. Now he's being chased. Griggs runs him out at the 49, 48-yard line. Boy, if he would get hurt, Stevenson might have to start throwing.
Yes, I think he would.
How many quarterbacks have come from San Diego State?
Quite
like
a few.
BYU, they must manufacture them or something.
Sure, he was just really bitterly disappointed when Dufek beat him out for the backup job and got to start last week over him after Ferguson was hurt, because as I said, he had been the backup here for a couple of years. So this is his chance to get something going and reestablish himself.
Not in Eagle territory, but getting close. 3rd down and 4 on the 48. Shotgun. Ooh, that crossover hanging there. That snap is soft. Good throw and knocked away by number 21. Good defensive play by Cooper. Evan Cooper went right up and just spiked it away. Intended for Bramer.
Yes, he did. Now, that's the second good play in this series by a defensive back by the Eagles after what looked like it might be a completion, just coming up late after the ball gets there and basically just jolting it away.
He didn't zip that one either. He sort of floated that over there, didn't give the defensive backs a chance.
Yep.
Kidd is in to punt. John Kidd. Cooper is back to return.
Got to watch something here now if you're the Eagles on defense. Watch for something.
Oh, what a tremendous boot. This one is into the end zone. Will come out to the 20. That ball was a spaceship. A 52-yard punt. The ball comes out to the 20. 14:33 left.
When they put a heavy load on your shoulders. Because everything else is just a life.
It's a wild place.
While we were away, there was a penalty call on Evan Cooper for signaling a fair catch and then blocking a member of the other team. Which he signals now. He's not supposed to go over and touch anybody. I don't know who put that rule in. Took a pretty good shot, young Cooper did. He was the one that made that good defensive play. Anyway, the Eagles will start from the 3.5-yard line. 1st and 10. And the Zebras have struck again. Jaworski. Haddix is in there, number 26, and they are standing in the end zone. Wilbert Montgomery behind Haddix's block. And the Bills are getting rough out there on defense now.
Bills got to feel that this is getting to be close to their big opportunity of the ball game. If they can come up with a turnover down in here, they're there. They're back in it. Or if they can stop them here with no gain and make them punt and get good field position. So this is one of those crunch situations right now for the Buffalo defense that you have 2 or 3 times in a game.
2nd down and 6 on the 7. So far, the Eagles have been very careful about turnovers today. Jaworski from the end zone, going up for it, going for Wilbert Montgomery and overthrowing him at the 45. Aired it out a little bit. That's to make sure everybody realizes that they've got to play the deep zones. St. Louis 31, Dallas 13.
Well, they've been putting some points on the board all year, St. Louis has.
Lomax to Green was the last touchdown, 45-yarder. Boy, Green he's averaging 20-some-odd yards a catch. He used to play defense. He would have given defensive people a bad name with speed like that. Chicago, Walter Payton in the record, leading 13-7. Third down and 6 on the 7. Jaworski throwing again from the end zone, no pressure. This one is batted down at the line of scrimmage. I believe Smerlis, the koala bear, got his hand up on that. He couldn't have caught it.
Oh, he comes to play, huh? He was ready to play on Friday when we talked to him. Look at this. He just keeps coming. Second, cleared effort. It's easy to stop when you got two big guys beating on you like that. But look at this. That was about his fourth effort, and he leaps up and get a hand on it.
That's a high five, huh? That's as good as it gets. Good defensive play. And Doug Horan is kicking from the end zone. Wilson is waiting, and they are going to put pressure on the young punter. They're coming. No. Average kick. Wilson at the 45. The 40. His own man knocks him down at the 38. Crowd senses something can happen. But the third-team quarterback is at the controls, and they're down by 10 points.
Who has a refreshing new...
Well, the Fox played in front of me, and we discovered Jim Taylor one night in a preseason game. We said, who's that little 31 over there trying to play fullback?
Their thighs like a barrel.
Yeah, and he turned our helmets around upside down, and Swamp Fox said, I'm going to get that kid's name and number and ring size because he looks like he's going to last for a while.
I was introduced about the same way.
First and 10. Good field position for the Bills. Young Matt Copeland is the quarterback. Defect was hurt. And Ferguson can't play a rollout. Going back, screen back to Bramer. The tight end is...
What a play.
Good tackle at the 31-yard line.
Boy, oh boy, what a play by Joel Williams. Good Lord, that's the best linebacker play I've seen all year. Roll out right, plan screen back to the left. The back falls down. Look at the linemen all down on the ground waiting there. Now watch them all get up in unison. And here's Bramer, the tight end. They got 3 blockers on Joel Williams here. Watch 59. Watch this play.
Oh, brother.
That was a saver.
How about holding the tight end screen to 6 yards or 5.5 yards?
I'll tell you, they said the knock about him is that he can't take on things straight at him. Well, he blew that right out the tub there.
That was the chorus line after. You ever seen anything like that, group? Second down and 4 from the 30. Copeland overthrowing and almost intercepted. Herm Edwards almost had it. The Eagles only have 2 interceptions this year. See Copeland getting back up.
And that stage of the game now where they're not going to fool anybody by play action. You got to drop back, and the Eagles know you got to throw the ball, and he's catching some heat. Ken Clark, 71, back on him. I tell you, you get a guy coming that close to you when you're a quarterback, you can feel him. You know you're going to get hit when you release, and a lot of quarterbacks will flinch a little bit and then start to anticipate that contact while they're releasing. The great ones, you know, Fouts and the Montanas and those people just step right up there and take that lick. And we haven't. The jury is still out on Coulter what class he's in.
Third down and 4. Eagle defense around. Coulter from the shotgun. Good throw, and it's Herm Edwards makes contact on Byron Franklin before the ball got there.
I'm not sure, was it on Edwards or was it on Wes Hopkins, number 48, Brookie? I'm not sure.
Might have been Hopkins, huh?
Yeah, I think it was.
He likes to hit people. But you can't do it before the ball gets there.
Everyone has a right to the football when it's in the air.
Marion Jr. is somewhat irritated. They were both going for the ball.
Pass interference. Number 48, defense. First down. Goal to go.
Bruni and Marion Campbell asking for information. Jack Fetty is the official that's trying to explain it.
It's all right here now. Number 48 will be Hopkins. Up with both hands going for the ball, isn't he? Contact. It was early contact from that angle. It's really hard to tell, but...
It's like Franklin ran into him.
Yeah. The ball's in the air. It's just whoever comes down with it. That should be the rule.
Sounds like a defensive call there. First and goal. Bills can really get back in this game. 12:31 left. Toss back to Bell. Backed up at the line of scrimmage. And a lot of people are pushing and shoving again. There's a flag thrown right on the goal line. I saw a safety man and a couple of tight ends going after each other. Looks like it's going to be against Philadelphia. At least that's the preliminary.
You know, you get a young kid like Hopkins who just got the last penalty, and you got to know he's going to be a little aired. He may have thrown an elbow or something.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 29, defense, half of the play, half the distance penalty, first and goal.
Number 29 on the defense for unnecessarily hitting. That's fouls. Inside the 5-yard zone, you're supposed to be able to chuck receivers. But Hopkins, he hits them when they're warming up. There's young fouls. Back to the ball now, 20-10. Philadelphia leading. This is going to get closer, maybe. First down. Goal for 3. Bell. Touchdown.
Pretty good effort. Pretty good effort there by the rookie running back, number 28, Greg Bell.
77 yards on 20 carries and 2 touchdowns. And he made a catch earlier in that third quarter that shows he really is a first-class football player. The crowd on their feet. Their team is 0-5. They can come within 3 points. Canelo. It's good. Another cheer. The 17th point goes on the board.
And although that drive and the touchdown, Brookie was helped a lot by penalties. That's still going to help Matt Kofler a lot to know that he can get his team in the end zone, whether he had penalties or not. Just watch this effort right here by Greg Bell. Good job up front, but he gets just a lot of this on his own. 29 fouls, hits him early. People coming over, but he just keeps on working until he's in the end zone.
Boy, Will Grant, the center, went to the onside and cut down one of those defensive linemen. That's a tough block.
Holding, number 55 on the kicking team. 10-yard penalty, re-kick.
That's Haslett, number 55, holding on the kicking team. We have to get the officials their own network. Canelo now will try to kick it. Will be from the 20-yard line. Kofler still holding. It's good. .18 left in the fourth period. Guess what? It's getting close. 20-17.
You want to win, you got to practice stopping Sarinsky. Murphy.
20-17. A lot of time. If you're leading, you want that clock to just fly by. If you're trailing, you want to have the ball 3 or 4 more times. Canelo and Hayes is waiting. That's Waters touching it down. The Eagles will take the ball over on the 20, and fists fly again. There's a fight at the 25-yard line. Flags are flying, and both benches are beginning to clear.
There's been more tussles in this game than any I've seen in the last several years. Unless, you know, I'm just counting Raider games.
The disclaimer was well taken. Struthers and McNanny, number 95, they may be ejected.
Well, I think they should be. They were drawn back and letting it fly there. They got to put a stop to it, so I'm sure that...
Personal fouls, fighting 93 Philadelphia, 95 Buffalo, both after the play. Penalties offset, 1st and 10 on the 20-yard line.
Struthers and McNanny, he did not say if they were ejected or not.
Sure didn't.
At least they're sent to the penalty box. 1 and 4 and 0 and 5. 4 plays, 36 yards. And of course, Bell's 3-yard run after the interference call. Defense has played pretty well for the Eagles. Jaworski now must eat the clock live. The toss to Montgomery. Oh, Haslett. Haslett throws Wilbert down for a loss of a yard. What a play by number 55.
Haslett, obviously a geometry student, knowing that the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line, because watch him come. Outside linebacker over here, Lucius Sanford, does a pretty good job of keeping it contained and turned in, as does Steve Freeman. And here comes the middle linebacker, the hitman.
Wilbert was fortunate not to have fumbled the football. 2nd down and 10. Smirlis and Dinner digging in right on the line of scrimmage. Jaworski throws a knuckleball, and Spagnola can't hang on. But Marv may have interfered.
Marv may have got there just a touch early. He's got an arm around it. Looked like he may have hit the football, but it could have been early.
Pass interference. Number 54 on the defense. 1st and 10.
A popular decision here in Orchard Park.
You be the judge. Going for Spagnola, the tight end. Marv in good shape. Oh, it just looks like a good defensive play to me. I'm sorry.
Can't you play football anymore? I can't believe that 2 people cannot engage and go after the ball. Anyway, it's an automatic first. Not much yardage. But it gives Jaworski 4 more plays on it. 11:23 on the clock. A lot of time. Jaworski threads the needle, hits Montgomery. 2 people miss. Montgomery out over the 35 to the 36. Pretty clever. He sort of hides in there. He picks up 9 yards on that. White's sitting on the bench and just doing the punting for you. He's a very, very good quarterback.
Almost tough to lose your job, though, in any situation.
That's for sure. 2nd down and 1. Oliver off the left side. Not much. Boy, Sizemore and Kinney have stabilized the offensive line. It sort of looks like they're solid and they're waiting. They're not jumping off.
And they got the 1st down.
Some scores as we flash them on your screen. St. Louis 31, Dallas 13. Chicago 20-7 over New Orleans. Saints are an interesting team, aren't they? Enigma 28-21. Tampa Bay leading Minnesota now in the 4th. Well, the Vikings have lost Kentucky. Washington 35, Irsay 7. The Jets are leading Kansas City by a point. 1st and 10 from the 38. Jaworski with the blitz. Reads it and hits Spagnola. He drops the football.
Eugene Marv on the blitz up the middle untouched, and just a great read by Jaworski. Can't beat experience. He saw it coming, knew he had to unload, and knew where he could get it in time.
Coming over the top.
And QB Oliver came over and got a little piece of Marv, and that saved Jaworski a pretty good lick.
Jaworski is 21 of 32, 197, 2 touchdowns, and no interceptions. 2nd down 10. 9:47 on the clock in the 4th quarter. Throwing the ball away. A waste pitch, high and wide. Pretty good protection, but Talley did come in and finally make contact with number 7.
Talley's a linebacker. When they're in their 3-4 situation, he plays an outside linebacker, and when they go into a pass rush situation, sometimes he drops down and plays the down lineman. He's their quickest, and he had 5 sacks last year as a rookie for them. They come into this game with only 3 sacks on the year. He had 1 of those, so before this game, they haven't been getting much pressure on the passing. They certainly haven't had Dworsky on his pants a lot today, but they've been back there some.
3rd down and 10 on the 38. 9:42 left in the game and a 3-point margin. Oliver, the remaining back. Jaworski. Out of the flag, Kenny Jackson is short of the sticks. Good play by Carpenter.
That was a very crucial series that time for the Buffalo defense, and they did their job. Now we got one coming up for the Eagles defense.
Michael Horan, who was a punter up here and lost the job to Cater a year ago. Wilson is back, a very dangerous return man. Absolutely fearless. Let's see if Buffalo comes with the gang, or if the left footer is just going to be allowed to whistle it away. Average kick. Wilson at the 25. Wilson back to the 25. Some flying bodies out there.
Second time in a row on a punt that Wilson's been put down by his own man. Watch this here. Couple juke steps. I got by the guy in green, but the guy in white got me.
Who has?
How good is Matt Koffler, the young quarterback? We don't know. I don't think Coach Stevenson even knows, but he has 9:27 left to get at least 3 points and get a tie. 20-17. Dufek went down, the second-year man from Yale, and this young man has come on. He's 5 of 10 for 50 yards, and he has a lot of responsibility on his shoulders. 1st and 10, the ball's on the 27. Koffler dropped the ball and falls on it. Boy, and the Eagles were pouncing just to make sure.
I think what happened is he faked the draw play, and as he faked with the ball hit on the hip or the thigh of the runner going by, and that's when he lost control of it. There he comes back. I think it may have hit the back going by, and that knocked it out of his hands.
Ellis was blitzing from the safety spot, and the green shirts wanted to do a tattoo on this young man from San Diego State. That's the pressure that you haven't gone through yet. Ferguson went through it for a dozen years.
It's in a tough spot now, 2nd down and 20, and they can really rev up on defense.
Here comes the 4-man rush. Bigfoot Harrison has moved into tackle, and they'll be twisting. 2nd down and 20. Dancing to the left, out of bounds. Closely covered was Denard. Almost intercepted. That ball had been a little underthrown. They'd have picked that off. Joel Williams was out there. New England 17-16 over Cleveland. Boy, New England's come back. They were trailing 16-3 in that game for a while. Miami 31, Pittsburgh 7. Marino hadn't been sacked yet. Shula's some coach, isn't he?
Bunk Phillips with a great line about Shula. He can take Hizen and beat Urine, and take Urine and beat Hizen.
3rd down and 20 from the 17. It's a shotgun, and then Koffler's having to shout out the audible. Across the middle, and underthrowing number 81, Brookins. And the Eagles were after the young man and got to him. How quickly they can change their attitudes about you.
Right. Pretty good penetration, but he did have time to throw. Although Tom Strothers, who's having a pretty good game, lucky to be in this one after throwing a couple punches, got back there right at the end.
John Kidd back to kick. He's from Northwestern, but you didn't think they played football there anymore, but he's a very fine punter. Ooh, this is a big kick here. Cooper is back to the 33-yard line. Cooper Dancy was tackled. He's still on his feet. He's down at the 35. And bodies are flying again. And words. A 50-yard punt, a return of 3. Coming up next Sunday, it's a big NFL doubleheader here on CBS. It all starts with the NFL Today with the group back in the studio at 12:30 Eastern Time. Then most of you will see the Giants and the Atlanta Falcons. In the second half, everybody will see Dallas and Washington. 4 o'clock Eastern Time right here on CBS.
See Tom surrounded by those Redskins again.
Dallas may not have anybody left after St. Louis gets through with them today. First and 10 for the Eagles on the 35. All they want is to simply turn off the lights on the clock. Go back to Philadelphia. Jaworski on first down pass action. Pass it spike. And Wilbert Montgomery still makes the catch for a gain of 3.
Got a break.
Like Smirlis, got a little penetration. Old Koala Bear.
Check the linebacker action out here. As our camera's focused on him. 55 is Haslett on the drop. Marv is inside. Ball's tip. Watch him close.
They are a bad bunch of
match pair there.
Motor scooters. Linebackers. 55. It looks like the way you did it for Detroit for 16 seasons, my friend. Second down and 5 on the 30. Jaworski keeps the backs in. Now he's going across the middle. Spagnola has it at the 40. Inside the 30 to the 26-yard line. And there's a flag down about the 32-yard line of Buffalo. It's been a rough game, hasn't it?
It has been.
Physically
we talked about
nasty.
that. They have been getting after each other.
32-yard reception.
They have been on the fringe a couple times, too.
It's against the local team. Don Wilson may have been involved somehow. Well, when you're a losing ball club, you're finding anybody to beat on, you know? You go home, your own dog bites you. You know, your own kids are
personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 21 on the defense. Half the distance, tack on from the dead ball spot, first down.
It was Wilson. Carter told you. Ball is now on the inside the 15-yard line. Penalties have played a big part in this game. Spagnola with 5 receptions for 68 yards. There's Haslett talking to the group like they're in the schoolroom. Calls the defensive set for this play. 7.5 minutes left in the game. 20-17, Philadelphia. Jaworski, the draw play to Wilbert Montgomery. Wilbert just simply runs by one tackler and gets inside the 10. Kenny Johnson, Wilbert just went right up and went inside of him like he wasn't there.
Good adjustment. Right here by Montgomery. Now the I formation is deep back there so he can see, head nice forward, shoulders square, and that's the way you run out of the I.
Montgomery with 67 tough yards on 13 carries, and there hadn't been a long one in the bunch. Hard work. Second down and 5 on the 9-yard line. Michael Williams in the backfield. Williams has the ball, cuts back. Michael Williams breaks 2 tackles and gets to the 1. Romes made the tackle there.
We got a great lead block that time from Hubie Oliver. Watch Hubie Oliver, number 34, out in front. Freeman, the safety, comes up and looks like he's going to cause trouble back in the backfield, but Oliver just wipes him out.
And Marion Campbell's pretty clever in that he's got a fresh back in there for a play, and here's a kid that's 22 years old and busting out anyway, a big young running back.
That's Darryl Talley, the outside linebacker, down.
I saw him play at West Virginia. You know, he's really some football player.
It's going to be a good one. He's just in his second year. When he was at West Virginia, walked on there as a freshman at 185 pounds.
Is that right?
Yeah, 235 now. So he's a late bloomer.
The Eagles with the ball deep in Buffalo territory. could virtually wrap this baby up. 6.5 minutes left. There he goes. Talley's going to leave under his own steam here. He has battled hard and long today. Don't forget, tonight on CBS, of course, 60 Minutes. Murders, She Wrote with Angela Lansbury. And the presidential debate. And of course, Dan Rather will cover that for CBS. That is all tonight. An important evening right here on CBS. Dan Rather, you know, is an old sportscaster. That's how he got started down in Texas. Talley replaced by Potter. First and goal. You're looking at number 7, the Lackawanna Locomotive. I had to say that. Yeah. First and goal. Inside handoff. No. Michael Williams tried to go over the top and got a headache. Some defensive play on the goal line. Number 75, Acker.
Bill Acker, who comes in a short yardage situation. He's a nose tackle behind Smirlis, but in short yardage, they bring the beef in. Wilson, number 21, up on top, helping out.
He played at Texas with McMichaels, you know, the fellow that plays for the Chicago Bears, and they hunted rattlesnakes together in those days. Second down and goal. Williams tries the ball, and he wouldn't let him get off the ground. It's going to be third and goal.
That situation, there's nothing fancy either way going on down there. On defense, you send the linemen low, and the linebackers and defensive backs up top. Try to time that jump, and they got it. They got it timed. Eugene Marv, number 54, and 21 Wilson. Look how low the line stays, and watch these defensive backs and linemen come up on top and try to time this leap also by the ball carrier.
The human pyramid.
Yeah.
What a defensive stand. The crowd, the local crowd here, they must love this. It's within about 6 inches of the goal line. Remember, all you have to do is break that invisible plane with the ball. Don't believe so. Look at Acker. Williams trying again. And no cigar.
Decision time. Decision time. You go after it, you take the 3. Well, this is just good defense. This is a great stand down here. Effort you're looking at, folks. You're looking at an 0-5 team who's behind in the last quarter. The ball on their 1-foot line, and there's anybody in a white uniform giving up out there.
What a goal line stand. You realize that's 3 shots at it. Marion Campbell says, let's go get it. It is about a foot away now. Over 4 minutes left. Big play. Jaworski running and scoring a touchdown and barely getting into the end zone.
He might be hurt. He took a shot.
He just did get flipped into the end zone. Thompson came under him, and he's holding his left leg. He's thrown for touchdown passes. Well, what a dash this was. Took it himself.
But he got the 6 points.
His mom is here. His family. They don't live too far from this stadium. Kenny is going off the field. He's being helped off by Otho Davis on that side. Vito Cab is helping.
Well, the only thing I like about the Jaworski situation, Tom, is that they're all up there talking to him up around his face, so they're not down and, administering to ankles or knees or those kinds of things. So maybe, hopefully, it's just something like wind, because he took a jolt. Take a look at it right here. Play action pass. He wants to go back, but it's covered. He decides he can get in, and look at the shot he took. Oh.
That's some touchdown.
Yeah.
Here's what Jaworski did today. He threw 37 times, completed 24, 2 touchdown passes, 234 yards, no interceptions, and he just scored the nail on that last touchdown run. Pisarcik in the hold. Of course, he is the backup quarterback if the Eagles would get the ball back again. 4:01 on the clock. Fadden trying for the 27th point. Important points for Marion Campbell and this Eagle team that he's retooling. It's good. The flags are down. These two teams have brought interest back into the extra point.
It says these two teams didn't have a rivalry before.
Defense contact before the snap.
That's what everybody used to get even.
The try must be repeated.
Contact happened before the snap. That's why it has to be repeated.
McFadden's coming back out now. Remember the first side saddle kicker that we ever saw? He used to kick right here in Buffalo. Gogolak.
Gogolak, yeah.
The Hungarian side stepper, we called him in those days.
Ron Jaworski back there.
Yep.
Obscured a little bit. Seems to be, yeah, all right.
Brennan. Otho Davis is on his left there. And here's the young kicker trying for that extra point again. Bodies are flying. The hands are up. Now we got a little altercation down there. They've been taunting one another now on every special teams play since we kicked this baby off.
Here's Jaworski's effort. This is going to be about the toughest yard of his life as he looks back upon it. Rolls out, wants to throw to Michael Williams, but who was covered in the end zone, and he says, well, I got to get it.
The foul for defensive encroachment.
So he plays Steve Van Buren.
Which prevented the ball from being snapped, will be assessed on the kickoff.
You heard the penalty will be assessed to the Eagle team on the kickoff. There's the sideline. Jaworski, I would imagine the game ball will be given to the veteran quarterback in his 109th start in a row. 35-7. The Redskins got it going now. Don't forget, the NFL Today starts it all off as CBS has the doubleheader next week. Most of you, a lot of you, will see the Giants in Atlanta. Then everybody gets to watch Dallas and Washington. Washington now 4-2 with that last score you just saw. And Dallas being plummeted.
Or pummeled.
Pummeled, whichever. From the 40-yard line, the penalty was against the Bills then on that last extra point. And McFadden will kick it off in the 40 and should drill it right through the end zone. That's Williams. Williams dancing at the 15. Gets out to the 19-yard line. Haddock's down under that, number 26. Old buddy of ours, a former Eagle rusher, all-time player back in the late 40s, Jack Hinkle, is in the hospital up in Norristown right now, not feeling too good, and we hope the old running back gets back on his feet, and we hope he's enjoying the game today.
10-point ball game here. 27-17 is our score, so without question the Bills need 2 offensive possessions, and they've got to get 7 on one of them.
And Koeffler, of course, extremely young, and very hard to expect this young man to be able to pull everything together in one afternoon. Almost intercepted by Herman Edwards. He'll never have a better chance than that one.
Just got the word that Ron Jaworski is shaken up, as you saw, and should and could be back. But Steve Kenny, the left guard, left knee, will not be back in this ball game.
He hurt that knee against the Giants, and on that last touchdown run, there was so much penetration by those linebackers, Kenny fell down over one of those linebackers. 3:45 left, 27-17. Second down and 10. Koeffler from the shotgun. A lot of time. Just gets it in to Franklin. Ed Franklin is some good-looking receiver. He gets to the 45.
Okay, I was just going to say that. Is he a glider? He is just smooth. Just in his third year, Byron Franklin has turned into their big play guy on this team. But it's a pretty good throw here, too, by number 10, Matt Kopler, with plenty of time down the middle, and it was right on the money.
Smerlis and company almost came off the bench. They thought there was some steering that time on the Eagle. Kopler running out of the pocket. Wysocki sets up, throws a strike through. Brookings couldn't hold on to it and got hit.
Got hit by Ray Ellis. A Buckeye hitting a Hoosier, or rather a Fighting Illini. Two ex-Big Ten guys played against each other. Oh, you don't get away with it that easy.
Wow.
Pretty good lick.
Ellis himself left earlier in the game a little bit woozy, tackling Booker Moore. A tough ball game. Physically, it's been really painful. Jaworski is all right, but he is probably going to sit the rest of this one out. 27-17. Eagles could win their second game. It would be 2-4. Booker with a lot of time. Now he's being chased out. Now he's going to run with it. And he doesn't get out of bounds, but he gets inside the 40.
Bookie, I'll tell you what, if he would have gotten out of bounds, he would not have picked up the first down, and he sacrificed life and limb that time by staying in and getting the stakes moved. Good piece of work by him.
2:45 on the clock. The daring young man called into action when Dufek went down. Ferguson couldn't play. Kopler, good throw to the outside. That's Brookins. And closely covered, he still made the catch. Bernard Wilson was hanging right over his shoulder.
Bernard Wilson made a good defensive play, but not much you can do about that. The ball's thrown perfectly, good catch, and they dropped a flag on Wilson to boot.
The crowd still enjoying this ball game. He just thought Danello's down there kicking into a net. Kickers are funny people, aren't they? Look at him, he's just down there getting ready in case. The buck stops with those kickers.
Face mask, 5-yard penalty, offense, pass interference, number 22, defense, penalties offset, repeat, first down.
The best call of the day. 1st and 10. 2:32 on the clock. I see the name O.J. Simpson on there. Remember when he had the 2,000 yards rushing that one year?
Seemed like every time you looked up, he was gaining 30 yards in the snow.
Man, everybody else was falling down, and O.J. just ran right to the perfect traction. One of the great players of all time, that's for sure. 1st and 10 now. Kopler in the present. Getting tangled up with Herman Edwards is number 83, Denard. Edwards claimed Denard pushed off.
Pass interference, number 46, defense, 1st and 10.
Tom, this is a situation in ball games where coaches are getting upset over the officiating. That the fact that a hard-played game comes down to being decided in the last couple minutes by a kind of call like this. Watch this. Both guys are pushing each other. Denard has his hand back. Herman's falling down. He has a hand up. That's football.
And Marion Campbell's got to be a little bit concerned. There's 2:26 left. A touchdown here, and anything can happen in the last 2 minutes of this football game. Kopler, a lot of time, going for the corner and out of the end zone, and chased into the wall is Byron Franklin. See who the Eagle defenders were that took him in there. Fowles was one of them.
Two Eagles and a ball boy over there. Got it too.
Coming up next, the NFL Today, of course, the post-game show with Brent Irv and Jimmy the Greek back in New York. Scores and highlights. Get to see some of the Walter Payton highlights of the day. 2:21 left in a game that is not over yet. Second down and 10 on the Eagle 13-yard line. Koeffler from the shotgun. Just missing at the 4-yard line. Brookins trying to do a little turn in, and Bree Wilson was in pretty good shape on it. Got some good receivers in this Buffalo team.
A real young group, with the exception of Preston Denard. He's the veteran by far. He's in his 7th year, but Julius Dawkins is in his 2nd year. Byron Franklin is 3rd. And Brookins, of course, is a rookie from Illinois.
The young coach, not beleaguered though. I think everything is fine here. He knows that it's a tough way to make a living being a head coach in this league. A lot of tension. 3rd down and 10 now. 2:16 on the clock. And it would be over. 3rd down pass. Koeffler being chased. Fox throws out of the hands of number 89. I believe that was Dawkins that made the leap for it. Koeffler hit him on the hands with it, but Cooper was pretty close on the coverage.
Eagles came that time with a safety blitz. Sent Wes Hopkins in there, so they were in man-to-man coverage on that play.
That was catchable, wasn't it? I mean, it's a great catch if he makes it. 4th down, trailing by 10. Danello is still just kicking into the net. Now he's out on the field, and it's going to be a 31-yard field goal attempt. Koeffler is holding. The Eagles have blocked 2. It is no good. Wide.
Rookie, that'll just about do it, I think. As we mentioned earlier, they needed 2 possessions. They had to get 7 points one time and 3 another.
Wow.
If
People are leaving the stadium like it's
sinking.
And listen, the life of a kicker, it's no joke, you know. They don't remember anything except that he missed this last one in the last 2 minutes. You were a kicker, you knew.
Only a kicker when I had to be. Well, I always felt kind of a thankless job.
They've had 7 different kickers here in 11 years, somebody told me. They have a Volkswagen van that can pull up with a 2-seater, and that's it. Pisarcik is now the quarterback for the Eagles. He'll try to use up that 2 minutes. Michael Williams dancing, hitting a couple. The Swamp Fox. He's checking out that 10-point lead.
When you've got a long way to go.
Better safety controls and a system that makes even this a safer place to work. Liberty Mutual's loss prevention people work across the nation. One way we're going to be there for you.
Ron Jaworski had some homecoming back to his native haunts, but I'll tell you, the Eagle defense did a pretty good job of shutting down what looked like it was going to be a good rushing attack for Buffalo. A 10-point lead in 2 minutes. And Williams running the great circle route to the 25-yard line. He's got to get to the hole and stop fooling around. Executive producer Terry O'Neill. Terry, we appreciate being allowed to do what we do. Senior producer Charles H. Milton III, old Red Eye. Producer Bob Deacus picks up those dinner tabs that we enjoy so much. Bob Dunphy, our fine director, and our associate producer Bob Rowe. Good to see Robert again, and the rest of our very good, hard-working crew has come to Buffalo and send this game around. Hey, I bet Philadelphia's loving this broadcast tonight. That football area there, they think the green and white's pretty strong. Our spotter, Bill Friel, of course, has kept me on top of most of the numbers. 0-6.
Yeah, he kind of, I think in his mind when we talked to him on Friday, kind of expected this a little bit because he thought that with such a young team and that it would take him about mid-season before they were connecting on all cylinders. So Hey, he's a nice man, and I kind of hope he gets it turned around.
Boy, he sure is a nice guy. I can say, boy, start all over and get prepared for the next team. They've got the roughest schedule coming up I've ever seen in my life. Kenny Johnson making the tackle on Michael Williams. They play after Philadelphia. The Bills play at Seattle, then Denver, then at Miami. How about that, huh? Don't forget, next Sunday, the CBS doubleheader. It starts with the NFL today. A lot of you will see the Giants against Atlanta, and you know the Giants are exciting these days. They made the punting game rather interesting these days. And everybody then will watch Dallas and Washington in that old grudge game, and each of them is 4-2. Of course, that's quite a battle. That's next Sunday here on CBS. 1:46 on the clock. This was the part of the game where I was always a little bit edgy. You don't want to get hurt for next week's game, and you got to make contact. Horan's in to punt. He has not had a very good punting game today. He is capable of tremendous hang time. Wilson is waiting. Oh, this time he really got off the kick. Horan has driven Wilson back to the 20-yard line. Wilson faking, gets out of bounds at the 29-yard line. A good punt under pressure by Horan, the young kicker. 53-yard punt, an 8-yard return. The left-footed punter going off. He's got a funny-looking little shoe on his left, doesn't he, there? Got a different shoe on the right than he does the left. Probably dressed in the dark. You know, they get up early on Sunday morning and try to find the stadium.
One blue sock, one brown sock.
Coming up next, the NFL Today. Post-game wrap-up. We'll get to see Walter Payton's record. What a day. He had another 100-yard day with Brent Irv and Jimmy the Greek. We do have a couple of exciting interviews right here. Incomplete pass by Kofor. Intended for Bramer. The young man has weathered the attack pretty well.
Yeah, he's not a bad-looking talent. I can see where they thought highly of him here in the past. In fact, he came in a couple games last year when Ferguson was hurt. Hasn't started and did a commendable job.
I hope Joe Dufek, the young Yale quarterback, I hope that's not a serious knee.
I liked him when we talked to him. He was a nice young guy. That's fun to come in town a couple days early and get to meet some of these guys and get a feel for the team.
I sort of like the Ivy League rule when they don't have spring practice. You know, he played baseball 3 years. Long pass by Kofor, overthrown. Herm Edwards covering very well there. You know what I mean? The kids go to school and they get a good education and play football and baseball.
I think of 4 Ivy League quarterbacks in the National Football League. Now that guy from Detroit, like they're carrying 4 quarterbacks because they like him so much. As Witkowski, I think, who played at Columbia. Right. Bob Holling right here for the Eagles.
Holling for the Eagles.
Kemp for the Rams. And Joe Dufek, who started here today.
3rd down and 10. Bills are running out of clock. 1:25 left. High snap. Kofor handles it. Good throw outside and airmails it right into the stands. Preston Denard, just watch that one. Clear everything. I wonder how many snaps he really took during the week. Because I imagine Dufek took most of them just having to bone up, you know.
And it's not only, you know, it's just, you know, it's time enough with the receivers and familiar with them. Not an easy job.
The Eagle flight back to Philadelphia will be a pleasant hour. Across the middle, Byron Franklin to the 45. There's a better young receiver around than this kid. I haven't seen him. Fowles was there. Just about a minute left. Copeland overthrowing, but intercepted by Wes Hopkins. Hopkins trying to stall some of the time out. There's our flags down about the 45-yard line. Greg Brown. He is such a good pass rusher, he might have left early. Marion Campbell.
Can't get it over with, right?
Offside, number 88 defense, 5-yard penalty, 1st and 5.
It's actually 98. There is no 88 on defense. That's Spagnola, but
yeah, they wanted one of those takeaways. They haven't had many takeaways this year. I think they've only turned the ball over 3 times coming into this game. So Marion will take what he can get, even if it's at the mop-up stage here.
46 seconds left. The Colts are next for the Eagles. Hoefler drilled at the 45, 46-yard line. Armstrong and Harrison getting the sack there. The Eagles play the Colts, then the New York Giants, and St. Louis. So this could be a pretty good stretch for them. They have a couple of those teams that they can work on before they get to St. Louis. And they've got to chase Neil Lomax from the very first play on.
Well, you just have to sell your people on the fact when you get off to a tough start like both these teams have, that it's a long season and you can get it turned around.
You know, one of Marion Campbell's big problems in Philadelphia was the Michael Jackson Victory Tour. They kept taking the stadium where the Eagles work out all the time, you know, and they bring in all those laser lights and all that stuff, and the players are...
Where'd you say they ended up practicing over at the Navy Yard or somewhere like that?
Right next to USS Saratoga. Don't forget, next Sunday, the CBS doubleheader. The NFL Today starts it all, then it's... A lot of you will see the Giants play Atlanta, and everybody will get to tune in and watch Dallas and the Redskins.
Garvey had wide out. Game 4 for 5.
CBS doubleheader. 40 seconds left. The crowd has not been as angry about this loss as I thought they were going to be. You know, I think they've been pretty appreciative.
I got a root for my Tiger.
Good football draws big crowds. Hoefler, good early throw to Bernard. Boy, he threw it before Preston Bernard even turned around. Good execution by the young quarterback. "35 seconds left. The Eagles are thinking about their post-game meal on the plane and not getting hurt in the last 35 seconds. Joe Dufek started at quarterback and hurt his knee early in the second period. Hoefler dumps it off to number 89, Dawkins. Dawkins steps out at about the 32-yard line of Philadelphia. Stops that clock. And the survivors here in the stadium are now trying to get a wave going like we've seen in San Francisco and other areas.
Hey, you gotta like him for staying.
Swamp Fox is just pretty happy with today, I think. Hoefler. Second down pass. Bell has it to 20. Inside the 15 to the 10. And fumbles the ball out of bounds. Ellis and Cooper double-teamed the running back at that spot. The clock is going. No more Buffalo timeouts.
Bell's a pretty nice-looking running back, don't you think? Rookie come in here and had a lot of pressure on him trying to replace Joe Cribbs, but he looks like he's going to be a good one. Stopping
the clock with 1 second left. Hoefler puts enough postage on that one to get it into the seats. Marion Jr. gets his second win. The head coach at Atlanta back in the 70s. He's got a new challenge in Philadelphia. Hoefler intercepted by number 24, Ellis. Ray Ellis comes up with it, still has it. The game is over, but Ellis is running for his life. Hoefler, the quarterback, made the tackle on Ellis, the interceptor. 27-17. The Eagles take Buffalo. It's all over. A 10-point margin. Ronnie, all right?
Okay, Tom.
All right, we're back. A 10-point victory for Philadelphia. Each team in the must-win situation. There's no doubt about that. I'm Tom Brookshire along with Wayne Walker, and we have the quarterback down on the sidelines, number 7, Ron Jaworski. And Wayne, if you want to start out the questioning, we'll talk to the quarterback right now.
Ron Jaworski, yeah, Jaws, first congratulations. I guess first thing I want to ask you, your touchdown run, when I said you look like Steve Van Buren, a moving van going to the end zone. Are you okay? What was it?
Well, my ribs are sore right now, and they're bruised, but I think I'll be all right. You know, just a situation where we had to get the ball in the end zone. The Bills did a great job on 3 successive plays of stopping our high lead plays and did a real good job. But fortunately, I was able to get outside with the option to run or throw. They did a good job of coverage. Okay.
All right, Ronnie, here it goes. You'll see your tremendous move, Crazy Legs Jaworski, going up and over.
If you remember this, you know, they should be flashing a card that says 9.8 or something after you finish this, Jaws.
Oof, there's the rib shot.
Yeah.
Well, it reminds me of my days at Lackawanna High School when I had to...
Ron, let me ask you one question. We mentioned before the game that you seemed extremely confident going into this. And when we talked to you yesterday, you said that there were some things that you really felt you could do against the Buffalo defense given the time, and it seemed to work out exactly like you thought.
Well, Wayne, for the most part, I think we did an outstanding job of mixing things up, the play-action passing, the running game, and throwing the ball against their coverages. But I think most of all, you know, this team has maintained a belief in themselves. You know, we've gone through some tough times last week's playing San Francisco, Dallas, and Washington, and playing them tough but losing. And, you know, maybe some other people got down on us and down on our football team. Well, our team hung together. And I think today was a good example. We had a lot of penalties, a lot of mistakes, but the team kept battling and fighting. And maybe that's the turning point for our organization, for our team.
Ron, very briefly, was that a nasty game? It seemed to me like there was a lot of action on the field. Special teams were after each other. Was there a lot of baiting and taunting on the field back and forth?
Well, I think both teams, obviously, Brookie, are a little bit frustrated right now. You know, we've lost 3 in a row, and the Bills have lost 5 in a row, and I think both teams came out very angry trying to prove something. And early in the ball game, Jim Haslett grabbed me, and I think I was determined to come into this game and at least set the tempo, and I started pushing and shoving, and maybe that got everyone else going. But it's just good to get a win after a tough 3 weeks.
Ronnie, good luck to you, my friend, and I'm glad your mom was here to see it, and I know everybody in Philadelphia is happy for you, too.
I'm looking forward to seeing my family and friends.
Okay, Ronnie, thank you very much. Guess what? We've done our ball game up here, and we enjoyed it. You know it? I'm glad we did. It's 27-17.
I liked it.
All right, this is Tom Brookshire for Wayne Walker, and let's go right now to Brent Musburger in New York City.